Let me listen to Fester's breathing rate. You okay, buddy? Oh, man. How long you been in the building this morning?
What is it? 6 o'clock in the morning?
It is 6:01 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. It is 6:01 exactly.
All right, then I've been in the building for 1 minute and 15 seconds.
All right, so you're breathing heavy again.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I have concern that's oozing in from listeners. Welcome, folks. MJ Morning Show here on a Wednesday. Nice rain last night. Did a little bit to get the oak pollen off my walkway in my yard and front porch steps. And, the car was just covered in that kind of radioactive yellow cake-looking oak pollen dust for the last, week or so. And then the rain rolls through and it kind of, takes some of that away that's coating the whole freaking yard. But then all of the little squiggly things from the oak trees. Now, I came out, the car was covered in that crap after that nasty line of... that was a thin line, though. Did you see the radar last night? It was like this pencil-thin, wafer-thin line that kind of rolled through. It was quick. In South Tampa, in Beach Park, where we live, power went out. I mean, just for a second. It was like we had two hits, maybe around 10:30. The power just went off and on twice. Michelle and I, our new thing is we're watching the old Columbo shows from when Michelle was 2, when Michelle was 1 year old, and I was 3 or 4 years old. So we're watching now the old Columbo episodes on Freevee.
So you're burning through Columbo and the power goes out?
Yeah, so we're watching and then power goes just for a second, but it happened twice within about 10 seconds. And then the power glitched again kind of late, maybe 11:45. So we had a couple of power glitches, but nothing extended. It was fast. Anyway, so back over to Fester.
Yes.
Yesterday, you're sitting there, you're huffing and puffing, and you had just climbed the very difficult one flight of stairs up to the second floor.
Twice.
From our lobby yesterday, and you're huffing and puffing, and now you're huffing and puffing again.
See, now look. I've been here for a minute. Been sitting down. I'm better.
Listen to me.
See, look.
Listen to this email that I have. Oh, by the way, hi, Roxanne. Welcome. You guys you and Froggy are all quiet over here.
We're just listening to you guys talk.
Yeah, we're listening to the
guys
health
having
update.
By the way, Roxanne was in a panic yesterday. Oh, my God. Have you recovered?
Yeah, I've recovered.
Oh, we'll get to that here in a second. Roxanne in a total meltdown panic. Oh, my God. Oh.
I always think the worst.
All right, you think the all right, we'll get into that in a second. But, Fester, I have an email from a listener that suggests that you may have congestive heart failure and you might need a bypass for your heart.
I'm glad you asked.
Okay. Well, it's not. I didn't ask. I mean, I've got a listener here from Kent. Kent writes in and says Fester may have congestive heart failure. He needs a bypass if it were true that he was not able to walk up the stairs without huffing and puffing and totally out of breath.
That is not true. That is not true.
What's not true? That I got an email? I'm holding it right here. It's from Kent Norton.
Ken's...
No, not Ken. Kent. As in Clark Kent.
If you want to piss off a Kent, you call him Ken. He's like, it's not Ken, it's Kent.
When I was a kid, my aunt used to smoke Kent cigarettes.
Yeah, remember that?
Are they still around?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I had a chain-smoking aunt. Just, you want to talk about huffing and puffing. All right, so this listener, Kent, is concerned that you might have congestive heart failure, Fester. What do you say?
I say, thank you, Kent. I didn't walk up the stairs and get winded. I walk up the stairs every day and I'm fine. I walked up the stairs once and then forgot something in my car and I had to run out to the car, get whatever I got, then hot trot it back in.
Get whatever you forgot what you got?
I forgot what I got. I forgot. I said it yesterday. I may have more of a brain issue, not being able to remember what I forgot yesterday.
Andrew says you forgot your phone.
Yeah, okay. I forgot my phone. So I went.
I think he's having mental cognition issues as well.
So it was one walk up the stairs.
Hey, Kent, I think he needs a brain bypass as well.
Probably do. Hot trot down. Soft sprint out to the car, which for me is like, Magilla Gorilla.
I love your thesaurus of movements.
Yeah.
Hot trot, soft sprint.
Then jog it back in and then hustle up the stairs to make it here on time. So it was a lot of physical activity, not just me walking leisurely.
How about walrus waddle?
Yes. Yes. Like, do you ever see the walrus when they just get out of the water and they're still kind of slippery and the rocks have algae on them? That's me. That's me. So, also, Kent. One of the doctors I keep up with.
Hey, Kent, are you listening? Because Kent must have heard this discussion yesterday and responded. Yeah. So, Kent, if you're listening, Kent, it's Coach Kent. If you're
Coach Kent.
Yeah, that's what it says. Coach Kent. Kent, if you're listening, dial us right now. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. All right, so Fester, just maybe you should get your heart checked out.
I keep up with a cardiologist in town.
Keep up with him?
Yeah, I can see him like once every year and a half.
Good for you.
And I saw him last year, and you know what he had to tell me?
What?
Your ticker's okay, but you sure are fat. All right, he didn't say it like that, but he's like,
it's been a year or so. Maybe it's time to get another checkup.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a question of you? And I don't want this to be awkward. Can I squeeze your thigh?
Oh.
This is a test. This is a medical test.
This is a test. This is only a test.
Scoot over here. Scoot over here.
You know the rules, Roxanne.
Okay, let me just feel
Wait
this
a
thigh.
minute. Why do you want to squeeze Fester's thigh?
All right.
Are you squeezing his thigh? I can't see.
I squeeze his thigh.
She's squeezing my thigh.
His weight is all hips up.
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
much.
upper body. I'm top heavy.
He's
hips and lips, baby.
Yes, and I've told you this
That's
before.
all I am.
Your thighs are like auxiliary pumps. So if you think about it, it's very important with Fester because he's got a lot of body mass that he's got to pump his blood through.
Yeah.
So your thighs serve as auxiliary pumps. So there was a heart surgeon I read about, before he did surgery, he would feel patients' thighs, and if they had good thighs, he felt good about the operation.
What's a bad thigh?
Sounds very medical to me.
Rox, if there's anything else you're going to want to feel, you're going to have to not ask me on the radio.
Do you have any other auxiliary pumps I need to know about?
I got a couple.
Hang on, Froggy had a good question. What's a bad thigh?
Yeah, what's the difference?
Feel Froggy's thigh. See how he's looking.
Oh, my thigh's bad.
Get a rancid piece of chicken, a bad thigh, all frigged up with salmonella.
It's all like flabby and stuff.
All right, 6:08 at the MJ Morning Show, just getting rolling here on a Wednesday. Roxanne in a panic yesterday, a frantic text to the group text. Roxanne, have you recovered? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
You thought the worst. Oh, my God. You know what? I didn't even know it. I did not even know there was a problem, which I think bodes well, and I'll explain next. So what was Roxanne's panic, and why did I not even know about why Roxanne was panicking until she told us in a group text that she was panicking? Hold on to that thought. We'll explain it all next as we're just getting rolling. MJ Morning Show on Q105. Traffic's on 6. Q105, MJ, Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, 621, Wednesday morning. Text to the group, which includes me, Andrew, the producer, Fester, Froggy, Roxanne. So the whole crew. We're on a group text. And it's used occasionally, probably a couple times a week. Roxanne in full-blown panic mode. Yeah, what time was this? Like, and I had no idea. Let me find the group. Here it is. Here's the group. And to yesterday, 11:51 a.m. And you were nervous. Why would you be nervous?
What did I say?
Well, let me tell everyone what the little mini meltdown was about. Apparently, Facebook and Instagram. Well, you know what it was about. You knew that you texted us about Instagram, and then finally, once it was determined that it was just a network servers down outage, you go, "Whoo!" I was imagining alien hackers had taken over my account.
Yeah,
I had no idea because I had not been. And by the way, I'd like to note for some people, and like Fester and Froggy like to get. Where's Froggy?
Froggy.
Is it too much just to ask for him to be here while we're on the air? Is it just too much to ask?
Slow your jets. The answer to that question.
What'd you say?
I said slow your jets.
Oh, slow. I thought you said, okay, go ahead.
Froggy just sent us a text at 6:18 this morning.
Oh, here it is. It's in this. Wait a minute. It's in the same group text.
Yes.
I'm having stomach issues today. I'm in the restroom if I'm late.
So,
okay.
I really don't care to get into that much more. Here he is. He's coming. He's coming now. Look at him.
Here he is.
So, do you have a happy face or
no? He doesn't have a happy face at all.
Oh.
So Fester and Froggy give me a hard time on Instagram, and the fact that I mention Instagram on the show quite a bit. Listen, because I provide content on my Instagram that's kind of supplement. What
you say? Liar.
You say liar?
The last content you provided was you in front of a porta john.
Yeah.
It's very.
That's from.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's true though.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was doing one of my power walks, which I do.
Okay.
I do a 2-mile walk every weekday. I do a 5-mile walk on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And listen, during my long 5-mile walk I think it was Sunday. I had to do a number one, and luckily there are some homes under construction in the neighborhood, and I'm able to just pop into one of the construction porta potties that are in the neighborhood, and I kind of know where they all are. And I popped in,
and that's the kind of content you get on his Instagram.
And then I took a picture of me coming out of the porta potty, did a selfie, got the plastic porta potty and the toilet right in the background. So if you want to see me coming out of a porta potty, that phenomenal picture is on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Let's see how many followers we can get here at 6:24 in the morning on a Wednesday. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me now and get great content like me coming out of a porta potty. Also, somebody texted in the comments section on the picture of me coming out of the porta potty. Somebody commented, "MJ, you're looking old." I'm like, what? What is it? All right, do I look?
You care?
Do I look? Well, I really
You're
don't.
A man.
I don't care.
You shouldn't care.
But I'm looking at the picture. I don't think I look any different. Roxanne's telling me with some of the recent pictures that I've taken on Instagram, man, you look really good. And
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's
I
a
don't know
little bit
about
of a
that.
spin.
You look really
You're putting
good.
words in my mouth.
Hold on, but I've had people comment that, hey, you're looking good because I'm working out very,
Yeah.
I'm in the best shape I've been in years. And for someone to say, hey, I tell you what, take a look at the Instagram photo. I think it's the last thing I posted because I have not been very active on my Instagram in the last couple of days.
Yes.
But let me just go. Yeah, it's the last thing. It's the first item. It's the last thing posted, and it's me coming out of the porta potty. Do I look old? Why would a listener leave a comment in the comment section on that particular picture? Yeah, looking old, MJ. And I think it's still. I don't think I erased it. I think there are 59 comments. 59 comments of me coming out of the porta potty. It's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. And if you don't follow me, give me a follow if you want to comment. But I don't think I'm looking old in my Instagram photo, me coming out of the porta potty on the construction site of my neighborhood.
If old is wrinkles, I don't really see wrinkles in that picture. It's kind of blown out a little bit.
What about this photo?
Yeah.
What about this do I look old in? I think I look actually pretty spry.
I think what it is like only an old person would take a picture by a toilet, like, honey, I'm having issues in the bathroom. I think it's this setting. It's less to do with you, MJ, more to do with
What
the
does that have to
setting.
do with age? What the hell are you saying?
Yeah, okay, so the fact that only old people use the word spry.
That is not true.
Yeah, he's looking awfully spry.
You're the only guy I know that talks about how they look.
Yeah,
It's
seriously,
so
man.
weird.
You
cares about how you
I
look?
don't
What are you,
talk.
a woman?
Listen to me. I don't talk about how I look.
Yeah,
typically.
right.
I'm
Roxanne says I'm looking really good.
I'm
Who says that?
responding
Okay.
because Roxanne said
Crazy.
that.
I know people work out. They don't
Hold-
go.
hold on a minute.
"Yo, I'm looking pretty big
All right,
lately,
listen,
aren't I?"
hey, Froggy, why don't you put a cork in the damn thing?
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Yeah, Froggy.
I don't just randomly or spontaneously combust or talk about how I look. I'm responding to somebody saying that I look old or MJ, you're getting old. I can't, it's in the comment list if you want to go find it. That's what I'm commenting on. And the other thing is Roxanne, out of nowhere, a month ago or so, was commenting on a photo that I took in the studio here, and she was commenting that it was like one of the best photos that she's seen me take in a while.
Yeah, because of your expression.
And I look good. No, you were saying
Okay.
I look pretty good in the photo. I don't bring this up. I don't bring
So
it.
weird.
I'm responding.
I'm
to stimulus.
Once
Okay.
a week, you bring up how you look.
No,
welcome. Can I say something to you?
What?
Can I invite you
What?
and welcome to womanhood?
Yeah, for real.
This is what we have to deal with. People commenting on our age, people commenting on how we look. So I welcome you into the club. It's not
Yeah.
fun. It's not fun.
It's okay, Miss MJ. It'll be fine.
Miss MJ.
You look great. I swear.
No, look at real.
No, what I commented on, I loved your expression. I don't know if it was with Chloe or if it was with a listener. It was like it was a relaxed smile as opposed to is a relaxed twinkly-eyed smile as opposed to a tough guy smile.
And then there's the photo of Chloe and me when Chloe was in the studio, I don't know, a week or 10 days ago. And then another listener had commented that, hey, you're looking really thin.
I think you're paying too much attention to what people on social media have to say about you. Just don't worry about it. Just be solid in what you think about yourself.
I don't give a flying crap. I'm just responding to people.
All right, okay.
Anyway.
I'm sorry about all of this.
Check out my Instagram. See me coming out of the porta potty. Do I look old? Do I look old and decrepit coming out of the porta potty?
Where are
Take
you
a look at
talking-
the photo. It's on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio.
I really think it's the setting.
Whatever. Anyway, check it out. If you don't follow, give me a follow. I'm clawing to try to get to 16,000 followers. I'm getting close. All right, Certified MJ Radio. Now, back over to Roxanne's panic.
Well, I have a reason to be panicked.
But you were all panicked that was it Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube were down for a period. I've got the stories here, and again, in our group text, Roxanne was all panicking.
Well, listen to what happened.
Yeah.
So I have a meeting today with someone who I correspond with on IG. And so
can you be any more cryptic?
She corresponds with the person on
Yeah,
Instagram.
and
it's not code.
So we're talking about my media coaching, right? So he wants to make an appointment with me later this afternoon. I've only corresponded with him on IG. I don't even have his phone number. He doesn't have my phone number. And so all of a sudden I realize I try to send him a reply to a message and it won't go through.
You know what? That's an interesting point. If you're in, I guess, either business communication or I think that's an issue where, and I might have a couple of these as well, where you're only communicating with somebody and it's above and beyond just, a random listener communicating. But if you're involved in some kind of business activity, think about this, and you're only communicating, let's say, through messages on Instagram versus having their email or their cell number to text.
This is a legitimate person. He knows me.
Yeah,
I know him, and
but you probably need to go beyond just communicating on Instagram direct messages. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, and so that will take place, but it's just that's where I happen to communicate with him right now. So
All right. We'll get into there were conspiracies that flew around yesterday. I'll get into that in about an hour. About what some people thought was going on. Anyway, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the outages were caused by technical issues, according to a rep. Oh, duh. What? No, it was aliens. No, it was irritable bowel syndrome that caused the Facebook and Instagram outages. Of course it was technical. Hey, thanks for the in-depth analysis. Yeah, people were panicking. What time was it yesterday? Because
about 10:30ish.
Yeah, and I didn't even know because I wasn't even on Instagram. I didn't even go on at all yesterday morning, and I didn't check out Instagram until you texted the group all panicked up good. 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling Wednesday morning. Early morons in the news next. Good creepy pile of morons in the news momentarily here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. If you are sick and tired of your high power bill, Here we go, folks. Who's ready? Stuff's getting weirder and weirder. You notice that? All right, here's a local story. You got a guy here in Clearwater accused of recording a tourist who was changing in a bathroom in Clearwater.
Why?
I don't know. A New York man was arrested. Happened on Sunday. Clearwater police said that he was recording a tourist. So it sounds like you got a tourist recording a tourist. So if the dude's a New York man, he would be a visitor as well. So you got a visitor creeping on a visitor.
Where was the other tourist from?
Hang on. I don't know if I have that. A 25-year-old. Yeah. I do have that. A 25-year-old woman who was visiting from South Florida. Does that make you a tourist? If you're already from South Florida and you're at Clearwater.
Yeah, you're a tourist.
You're still, I don't know.
If you go to Key West, you're a tourist.
Well, listen, last weekend, Michelle and I and Chloe, we drove over to Fort Lauderdale to see my parents and my brother.
You were touristing.
I mean, really? I'm driving over from Tampa? Am I really a tourist?
How far from your actual physical home location do you have to go before you're a tourist?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't feel like I'm a tourist in Orlando.
That's a
Why
good
don't
question.
you look it up?
Why don't you look it up?
Too lazy.
Well, also, you go to Orlando to the theme parks, you get the Florida resident deals.
It's like I belong here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, they have all the little Florida tour, Florida resident deals. So it's kind of like anti-tourist, right?
Oh, I found the definition. Maybe this will help us clarify.
Of a tourist?
Yes, a person who is traveling or visiting a place for pleasure. So if you're there for pleasure, but wait, I could be on Clearwater Beach for pleasure.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me a tourist.
No, so if you drive from Tampa, you live in West Chase, and you drive from West Chase over to Clearwater Beach, are you a tourist?
Yeah. No,
All
you're
the way
not.
from Hillsborough County into Pinellas County, are you a tourist? I don't think so. Anyway, so here's the deal. So this New York dude was arrested by Clearwater police. They say that he recorded a tourist changing in a bathroom stall in Clearwater. 25-year-old woman was visiting from South Florida. It's kind of like the reverse. I came from the Tampa Bay area to South Florida last weekend. She came from South Florida over to the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, but if anybody recorded you in a bathroom stall, they'd be throwing up.
Anyway, this happened in a bathroom along South Gulfview Boulevard about 1:30 p.m. She saw a cell phone recording her from the stall next to her. She told investigators the phone was being held under the divider. The old under the divider trick with the cell phone. Do you remember? I haven't heard about these in a while. Do you remember? And this is before like cell phone video. This is maybe late 90s, before we had like really good availability to record and take pictures on our cell phones. Do you remember that you had like sicko perverts that hooked up small video cameras in their shoes, and they'd have a little lens in their shoe, and then they'd have a wire through the shoe up their pant leg, and then the wire would go into a little carry bag or a duffel they were carrying, and they would have like a portable video recorder. Remember the days of like a 8mm or a high 8?
Yeah.
Remember the little videotapes, for camcorders.
But there were stories of people like at the mall.
Yeah, that's what I'm
with
saying.
Like upskirt stuff.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it was. It's the whole upskirt deal where they were putting these little cameras in their shoe and then recording on a recording device in a bag they were carrying, and they would get behind women like on an escalator and shoot up their skirts. And this is back during, so the internet was up and running, obviously, but I remember this. This is like, late 90s into the early 2000s, and there were a bunch of like perverted upskirt video websites. Remember that stuff? All kinds of voyeurism stuff.
Oh, there's a YouTube page teaching you how to make the shoes.
And Froggy, how the hell do you know about that?
I just was wondering if they're for sale. And then this guy's like, how to make your own camera shoe. Interesting.
You mean how to make your own shoe camera?
No, camera shoe.
What is it? Is it a shoe or a camera?
That's right. Is it a shoe camera or is it a camera shoe?
It's an Elizabeth shoe.
Anyway,
They look like big Polaroid cameras, just blocky shoes.
so the dude was holding the cell phone under the divider. The woman ran out of the bathroom and then confronted 29-year-old Gabriel Mejias, who was trying to run away because he was busted. Yeah, the woman and her friend convinced the man to delete the video. Before cops arrived, police said that Mejias admitted to the officers that he videoed the woman and then even surrendered the phone as evidence to be searched. He was arrested on a charge of video voyeurism by the Clearwater Police Department. So look at that. Little
upskirt.
Old school.
Upskirt or
Bathroom voyeur.
Bathroom voyeurism. Exactly.
All right.
Man, what a perv. So that just happened on Sunday right here in Clearwater. Moving along, here's another Florida story. And, of course, if you look back at the history of morons in the news, most of the stories are Florida stories. Here's a dude arrested for throwing a Chick-fil-A drink at a woman during a road rage incident.
So here's the deal about Chick-fil-A cups, those styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
They are sturdy enough to throw, but they explode on impact.
And how do you know this?
Because, listen, I'm a big fan of the Circle K Polar Pop, and the same thing. They're sturdy enough to grab your hand around, put a little tension on, and to throw and really get behind it. But when they hit, they explode.
All right, so now we have a Pinellas County dude, so another local story.
There you go.
We got back-to-back Pinellas morons in the news here. So this dude was arrested over the weekend. Why? According to the police report, this Anthony Pellegrino, I'm not a Pellegrino fan.
God, I knew it.
It's.
I thought you drink that crap.
No. I love sparkling water.
Yeah, you are a sparkling water guy, as I recall.
I'm not a Pellegrino fan, and a lot of Italian restaurants have Pellegrino, and to me, Pellegrino has too much sodium. And if you look at the label, there is sodium in Pellegrino, and I'm sensitive to that, and it just doesn't taste as crisp and refreshing. So there are other Italian sparkling waters, or even domestic, like Saratoga is a great no sodium. Great Italian water is San Benedetto, no sodium.
Again, this is probably a podcast.
To me,
This is really
hey,
neat
listen,
stuff.
the guy's name is Anthony Pellegrino, okay?
Moving on.
I'm just telling you, he's a little too salty.
Did he have Pellegrino in his Chick-fil-A cup?
No, it's not Pellegrino, it's Pellegrino. All right, so this dude throws a Chick-fil-A drink at a woman, and apparently some punches were thrown. I'm looking at the police arrest affidavit. Anthony Joseph Pellegrino, 54, of Clearwater, was in a road rage situation. This happened at Seminole Boulevard and 72nd Avenue in Seminole. This happened about 5 o'clock on Saturday. Pellegrino threw according to the police report, a partially full Chick-fil-A cup with a drink at this woman. It exploded on her vehicle. The drink covered her vehicle. The woman stopped her car in traffic, got out to take a picture of Pellegrino's license plate, which I think is a valid thing to do. Then Pellegrino hits the woman in the face with a closed fist, cuts her lip. This dude was arrested. He was previously convicted on aggravated battery or felony battery back in 1998. I was like, this dude's a menace.
Those charges stick with you, Pellegrino.
What happened? The lady cut him off, and he throws his Chick-fil-A drink cup at the woman's car. Then she stops, gets the license plate number. Then he just closed fist punches her in the face.
If he had sweet tea in his cup,
son of a... No!
That car is going to be sticky unless you wash it right away.
Oh, hey, thanks for that.
I'm
Bill Nye Science guy.
I'm just telling the victim here. What was her name? Who's the lady that got punched?
Yeah, thanks for the facts, dude.
So I just want to tell her, wash your car.
I don't have the victim's name in this particular story.
I'm sorry that Mr. Pellegrino threw his drink, but if he had sweet tea, Diet Coke is probably your best bet on that. For your car, but if it was sweet tea.
You're giving drink hurling advice?
No, I'm just saying, listen, if you have sweet tea thrown at you and it hits your car, wash it off. Otherwise, your car will be sticky. You'll get dirt on it, it'll attract bugs.
Early morons in the news and a double dose of local Pinellas County stories today. 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show. 7 o'clock hour starts next. Hey, Roxanne, I need to ask you about the jelly bean deal. You sent me an email. And
I did.
You got a whole paragraph you sent me with a dissertation on jelly bean counting.
Yeah, I did.
And this is disturbing you and the family?
And me
and
and my
you,
girls.
you wanted to know if you have a lawsuit?
Because we talk about these crazy lawsuits.
Hang on. So Roxanne and jelly beans. And all right, hold on. We'll get to that next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. Back in just a couple of minutes. If you're looking to sweeten things up, folks, ooh, baby, you want the cake girl. Oh, by the way, I spoke to Kirby. Kirby is the cake girl's husband and does a lot of management with the company. We're going to launch the Win a Cake from the Cake Girl contest, where, it's not going to be like a phonied up, get flowers, War of the Roses kind of deal. We're going to have real people, real stories, and we're going to give away like an exclusive designer custom Cake Girl cake every month. And we'll have people send us like email stories on why they need a cake, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, etc. So that's upcoming here, folks. If you want to make an event just absolutely rock, if you want to make a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding, a corporate event, if you want to make it something special, you need a custom designed cake from the Cake Girl, folks. And it's very, very simple. You get a hold of the Cake Girl. You go to thecakegirl.com, and they will help you design a custom cake that will blow you away. Nationally recognized right here in the Tampa Bay area. The Cake Girl on Northdale Mabry. Go to the Cake. 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Why is Fester outside in the hall? Paul Abdul still on American Idol? What are you laughing at?
You haven't watched American Idol in like 15 years, have you?
I have not watched American Idol in a long time. Is she still on American? I have no idea. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you know what? I do know. It's Katy Perry now, right?
Katy Perry,
gotcha.
Lionel Richie, and Jelly Roll.
Really?
No, I don't know. Some country actor. I don't know who it is.
No, it's, I don't know.
I don't know who it is. Some hillbilly guy.
All right. New Kids on the Block, Paul Abdul, DJ Jazzy Jeff. No Fresh Prince. Yeah, he's unavailable for the tour. So what does DJ Jazzy Jeff do? Because he was just spinning the records while Will Smith, as the Fresh Prince, he was the one doing the rapping.
He just mixes the songs to
He was
Will
the
Smith.
DJ. He's been his DJ forever.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we got tickets just after 9 o'clock, or maybe at the very end of the show. But in the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to give away New Kids on the Block, Paul Abdul, DJ Jazzy Jeff tickets. Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater coming up on Friday, July 19th. And we got a pair of tickets. You can win them very easily. Just listen and call in when I tell you in the 9 o'clock hour here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Now, Roxanne and the Jelly Beans.
Yeah.
I get an email dissertation from Roxanne that my kids and I play these jelly bean games where we count the jelly beans. And are you telling me that the jelly bean package...
Let me back up.
It says how many jelly beans are in the package, and then you've counted jelly beans?
Yes.
And there were not the correct number of jelly beans in the package?
First of all, let me just tell you about the game, because it's a really fun game. It's called Jelly Bean Trades. So,
Wait, is this something you just made up?
Yeah.
So you're inventing games?
Yeah, so Damiana's like, can we play Jelly Bean Trades? So we get our plate, we get a little plastic knife.
Roxanne's inventing games like that guy that invented Monopoly on a tablecloth back during the Depression in Atlantic City.
Yeah, well, when Jelly Bean Trades takes off and Milton Bradley gives her like $20 million.
Oh, yeah. Jelly Bean Trades. Roxanne's going to blow this popsicle stand.
So we take them all, we divide them into their different categories.
What I just said might have been an HR violation.
I mean, only to the popsicle stand.
Especially, didn't we describe popsicles in a very creepy way the other day? Okay, so we take all the jelly beans, each flavor, and we divide them into their teams, so to speak. So you got your toasted marshmallows. You've got your buttered popcorn.
Listen, I don't really care about the game.
Well, I mean,
apparently
maybe somebody else wants to play.
But you asked me if you have a lawsuit against the Jelly Bean Company because you guys are counting the jelly beans in the package.
First thing we do,
and
count them up.
the number of jelly beans in the package is not corresponding with what they're saying on the label
consistently.
All right, first of all, I'm not really familiar with jelly bean packaging, but they tell you how many jelly beans are in the package on the label?
Pretty much, because they tell you how many servings. They have to give you the serving information to show you how many calories it is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't say on the label. Are these, by any chance, are these Jelly Bellies?
Yeah.
So flavors like toasted marshmallow and butter.
That's what I thought. So these are. By the way, there are some disgusting flavors.
There are. I will never take a Tutti Frutti. I will trade you a Tutti Frutti all day. I will never do bubble gum. That's disgusting too.
Have you had liver and onions? The liver and onions Jelly Bellies are disgusting. All right, and the ketchup one. Oh my God! All right. So, when you get a red one, is it going to be the ketchup flavor?
That's the worst.
Or is it going to be the cherry?
Cherry or ketchup.
Well, that's part of the game. You really have to distinguish, based on how opaque the red color is, that means it's ketchup. If it's a little more translucent, it's cherry.
All right. Now, so they don't say that there are 200 Jelly Bellies in the bag. What you're doing is
math.
Sort of the reverse math engineering. You're looking at the number of servings. So
I love how you fancied it up. You called it reverse math engineering. I call it multiplication.
Okay, so this is the bag that you can buy from BJ's Wholesale Club.
That's not my bag. But
I'm just telling you the
do an
nutritional
example.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So it says, guess what the serving size is, MJ, of jelly beans?
So we're looking at the nutrition facts label.
That looks nothing. It's weird.
So on this particular label, it says in the bag about 30 servings per container, and the serving size is 3 pieces.
See, my bag says a serving.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Stop. Fester, go back. Stop changing the screen.
There's two,
Just leave the screen on.
There's 2 graphics.
But wait a minute. This doesn't make sense.
Oh, you can eat 3 jelly beans?
3 pieces has 100 calories?
We might have another lawsuit.
Wait a minute. Are these jelly beans the size of a basketball? Wait a minute. There is no way that 3 jelly bean pieces are 100 calories.
See, I think my bag, if I'm not mistaken, I think my bag has like 7 pieces is 1 serving.
All right, so wait a minute.
7 beans, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so let's do the math here. What you did is you figured out how many pieces they're saying adds up to a certain number of calories, and then how many servings are in the bag, and you guys are counting the jelly beans, and the math is not adding up. And you're claiming that Jelly Bellies is shorting you based on doing that math.
Exactly.
So you figured out, now you sent me all kinds of calculations in your email here. So you're saying that according to your calculations, there should be about 190 jelly beans in the bag, and you're only counting in the 160s.
Yes.
That's like a 30 jelly bean deficit.
Yeah, that's some shrinkflation right there.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you want to know if you have a legal case against Jelly Bellies.
Hey, we see all kinds of legal cases in the world out there today.
All right, let's get Billy Howard on the phone from the Consumer Protection Law Firm and see if he wants to take this. Wants to take this case.
I really hone in with my kids. I'm like, this is ridiculous. We paid for 189 jelly beans, and yet we only count 163. Yeah.
A scam.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the Publix bag, they have a 3.5-ounce bag of Easter Jelly Belly flavors.
Dude, it's not a Publix bag.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is weirding me out every time you say that.
First of all, you're on the Target website,
Target.
but it's not the Target bag. It's not the BJ's bag.
Listen.
It's just Jelly Belly makes different bags, different sizes.
Did I say that out loud? Okay, listen, look. They say the serving size on this bag, the 3.5-ounce bag that they sell at Target, is 110 calories for 27 pieces.
That's what I am going off of. So I'm doing that 27-piece thing, and it's like 27 times 7. There you go, 189. That's my bag. That's what I've been operating off of, and it's not
adding up.
No, not adding up.
Baby.
Wow. All right, yeah, I think that you've got a lawsuit
Right?
here. I think you ought to go full steam ahead. This could be a class action situation.
Hey, this could affect my kid's ability to do math properly down the road.
Or their
This
teeth.
could be one of those cases where you, the consumer, where you will end up with a settlement of like a check of $1.12,
Yeah.
or maybe a free bag of Jelly Bellies, and the lawyers make $19 million.
Yeah,
That's
a class action suit against Jelly Belly.
that's what I'm saying. All right, Roxanne, is this really what you're worrying about in your house? You've got time to count jelly beans?
We do. It's fun. Jelly bean trades. Don't knock it till you plate it and you've eaten a whole bag. And
Listen, I don't want to creep anybody out, but man, this is a ballsy move and this is scary. Did you see the case? And there's a Florida connection here. Did you see the case where the Florida couple went up to Washington State and then kidnapped a little girl, and the guy was dressed as an Amazon driver to gain access to the house, and then took the girl and put her in an Amazon box to get her out and kidnap the girl?
That's crazy.
This has not gotten a lot of attention. This has not gotten a lot of press, but this is a crazy, crazy story. A Florida couple has been arrested. They were charged with traveling to Washington State, abducting a relative's 7-month-old baby, Marilee Harina Ardilla Urego and Chun Ho Vincent Lay.
Well, only in America.
All right, so it looks like we have a Hispanic woman and an Asian dude, Chun Ho Vincent Lai. What Chun Ho Vincent Lai? Is that Laotian? What is that? I don't know. Anyway, they've been charged with kidnapping, burglary, and robbery. This happened back in late February. They're also being charged with assault, according to Fox 13 in Seattle and King 5 Television. Prosecutors say that these two targeted this family because they have a child. In the days leading up to the incident, the woman allegedly asked her cousin, the mother of the child, what the address was where they lived. They told the woman that she had ordered a bed frame for the child and it would be delivered on February 20th. So they're expecting a bed to be delivered. So that's the ruse. It's coming on February 20th. And that's when the guy that the woman is in cahoots with is in an Amazon delivery uniform. He shows up with a box and busts in, takes the little kid, puts the kid in the box, and then they flee the scene.
oh my God.
What the? This is insane.
So what happened?
Is an Amazon vehicle the perfect getaway car?
Well, no, they weren't in an Amazon vehicle.
Oh.
He didn't steal an Amazon truck. He had like the Amazon, like the
smock?
the smock, the blue vest thing. That's what he was wearing. Well, you got a guy showing up at your front door. I mean, you think it's Amazon. You don't think it's a kidnapper. It's about to snatch your 7-month-old baby and jam it in a box and then take off. That's like a reverse delivery. You're not delivering. You're taking. This is insane. So the story was, hey, February 20th, your bed for your new 7-month-old baby is going to arrive. So February 20th rolls around, knock on the door. Soon after the husband left for work up in the Pacific Northwest, she told authorities she looked through the peephole and saw an Amazon delivery driver with an Amazon box. So I think the guy even had a box with the little Amazon little smiley arrow.
He needed that to carry the baby out.
Oh, my God. As soon as she opened the door, the phony driver, who was this guy, Lai, L-A-I, began punching her in the face, threw her to the ground, zip-tied her wrists and her ankles. The unknown woman entered the apartment, or a woman unknown to her then entered the apartment, the victim said, and then held her down while the man put the infant inside the Amazon box, and they fled the apartment. What the? This has not gotten a lot of play. And again, the couples from Florida, they went all the way across the country to Seattle with this phony Amazon delivery ruse to steal a 7-month-old baby.
I mean, think about it. They're cousins. They probably have some mutual friends on social media. They knew the baby was there. They knew that they would probably never see this cousin again.
Once the suspects left, the woman was able to free herself from the zip ties, called 911. The victim's father reportedly told authorities that he suspected that this Ardia Urega, the woman, was behind the incident. He claimed that it was unusual for her to ask about the victim's address because they weren't close relatives.
Right.
Once police were notified, they were able to use cell phone information. They located the couple's vehicle, tracked them down, and made the traffic stop, and they were able to rescue the infant inside the Amazon box, unharmed, less than 4 hours after the Amazon kidnapping, which was not really Amazon. It was just a ruse.
Crazy.
God, bail set at $750,000 for each.
That's not enough.
Is that...
No.
Well, listen, I doubt they're coming up with the bail.
So, that's incredible.
Okay.
What is the... Thank you. Thank you, Fester, for that
I'm waiting
in-depth...
for Froggy to chime in here. It's kind of like a little play on words. It's kind of like volleyball around here.
I don't feel
Except
like
when
I have to.
Asshead Froggy's like, okay.
Thank you, Fester, for that.
What? You just said
But then I do. He gave you the rapper.
In-depth analysis from Fester. It's
crazy.
7:14 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. There's a story that, Roxanne, you sent me the link to the story, and you said, ooh.
Ew.
All right. Do you want to talk about this?
Oh, my gosh. It was the subject of dinner last night.
Hold on. You're talking about this at dinner?
It's the thing I'm thinking of.
The BBL?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was Bezos and Musk yesterday.
No. You got to hear about the BBL.
This is like...
You've got to hear about the BBL.
Doug is like, stop talking. Stop talking.
I can't believe you're talking about this during dinner. How could you have an appetite talking about this? Yeah. BBL as in Brazilian butt lift. You've got to hear this story. And that's among many things because we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ Morning Show next. So we're loaded. Don't move. We're back in minutes. Here, and Froggy, I've got some good news for you. I think you're going to be changing your license plate out pretty soon.
Okay.
Yep. I'll get into that all next.
No more ass man?
Back in a second on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. If you MJ and the team here, 727. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Yeah, so I'm a couple of minutes late starting the hour and 20 minutes, but don't worry, you get it back on the back end. I always go longer than an hour and 20 minutes. It's never less.
Yes.
It's always more than an hour and 20 minutes.
You sound like a very enthusiastic masseuse.
So
Yeah, like
I know it says 120 minutes, but it's like 125 minutes every time.
yeah, endurance.
Part of our appreciation and my request that you always help us promote the MJ Morning Show, that's a great selling point to coworkers or friends that don't listen to us or don't know about us, that, hey, I listen to the show, love what they do, and from about 7:25 to like 8:50 every morning, they do an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop content. No music, no commercials, and that's a great selling point. And as you know, I ask you, the MJ Morning Show listener, to please help spread the word. Tell 3 people a day to listen to the MJ Morning Show. If you know someone that listens to something else, or you know they don't listen to us, just tell them, give us a shot. Because I tell you what, we have people, for instance, that are new to the area, don't know the history of the MJ Morning Show and MJ and BJ going back to 1994 to 2012, then our return here on Q105 in 2020. A lot of people are new to the area and they don't know our history, and there are folks that don't know who we are. And once they're exposed, all the time I get direct messages or email, hey, just moved here from New York and just found you. Oh my God, I love the show. So a lot of positivity. So we appreciate when you help us spread the word.
So I have a friend, a close friend, who always listened to Stern on XM.
Yep.
Right? He was a super Stern. I'm surprised the guy's still around. Anyway, he'd say, I listened to Stern this morning, listen to Stern.
Yeah, he's decrepit. Isn't he like 80 years old now?
I think he actually died in 2020.
So it's animatronic?
I think he surpassed Amos.
Yeah. So anyway, so my friend Evan would always tell me about Stern. I was like, listen, whatever, dude, I'm not going to beg you. And then he had a rental car for a couple of weeks.
I think he's got a walker now.
He's Stern? Yes. Yeah. Robin actually holds him up.
And he goes for cortisone injections twice a week.
Anyway, this isn't necessarily about Stern. It's more about my friend Evan, who had a rental car.
Yeah.
And the rental car didn't have XM in it. And so he gave us a shot.
Yeah.
He was exposed.
Ooh.
I mean, I've exposed myself to him before, but now in a broadcast capacity. Now,
It's like a fungus.
Evan listens every day.
Awesome.
And he has developed an incredibly sarcastic MJ impression. It is incredible.
Maybe you can get him to call in. Let me hear it.
Check out my Instagram.
Certified MJ video.
You guys cut the crap. All right.
I have to tell you, I was out and about this weekend at a couple different events. Taste of South Tampa.
So you were out and about. You weren't a shut-in?
No.
You were not a weekend shut-in?
No. And I got to meet a lot of MJ Morning Show listeners, and it is amazing how much they know about you. Because I guess,
like what?
Well, we just talk a lot about. You forget how much we talk about ourselves on the show in a good way.
Like I realize. A good way. So, what are some of the things they knew about me?
Well, this isn't about you. It's about me, actually.
Hold on, but you just said what they know about you. Why didn't you say what they know about me?
What they know about me? Yeah,
because you said what they know about you, which I would take it to be me, because it's you.
Collectively, us.
All right.
That what they know about the members of the show, and
that you got a boob job at 16,
19, 18.
Hey, that's out there, and I was 18,
I'm
barely.
Sorry.
18 in 3 days,
barely
probably.
18. That sounds perverted.
And they just, the reason that I think people like us if they give us a shot is because we put it all out there. They get to really know us, and example you just described. So it was fun. I got to meet a lot of those people. And I found a new restaurant I love called The Dan. Have you heard of it, MJ?
The Dam?
Damn, this food is good.
No, they serve beavers.
Really?
Nice.
The Dan.
Oh, yeah, that's my new restaurant. Tony
D-A-N.
Dan's.
Is it the Dan's?
It's called the Danza, but we call it the Dan.
What's on the menu? What is the focus at the Dan?
An appetizer is the Mona, and that's a old salad with red cabbage.
The Mona is an aged piece of meat.
Yes. Then there's the Angela. And the Angela is it's a dessert, and it is delicious.
Is there valet parking?
No valet parking, and you can only drive a blue van, like I drove.
What's the fruit bowl called?
The fruit bowl? Oh, that's called the Jonathan. And if you want the Jonathan, you have to come early, because Well, you know.
It sells out? I don't know.
Finish
Sells
that joke.
out?
I don't know either. He's a good kid.
All
Good
right,
kid.
all right, moving along. So,
You went to the danza. And what'd you think?
all right, so is it the Dan, the DAN?
Yes, the DAN. Yes. And
It's
so
called the Dan?
the Dan, and it's at a hotel. And they did
What
this,
hotel?
hotel.
What is it, a secret? Tell us where it is.
Hotel Floor.
It's at
Oh,
the La
thank you.
Quinta on Sheldon.
Where?
Fester, Google it up. It's the floor. Does that sound right? Hotel Floor. It's on Florida Avenue.
It's the Dan at the
Hold on.
floor.
The Floridian?
Next to
No.
the wall.
No.
The Floridan?
What the hell kind of a place is this?
I'm a member of Dan since 1993. That's the Divers Alert Network, for diving insurance.
All right.
So listen, you guys would appreciate this too. So I was a judge
We're
at
talking
this.
about more fancy restaurants?
Yes, we are. Okay, while Fester's researching the Dan, and MJ, you take a look at this as well.
Hotel
So,
Floor in Tampa on Florida.
yeah, there you go.
Is
Just like
the
I said.
Dan, is this new?
Must be because I'd never heard of the Dan. But let me tell you about their like creamy grits, polenta-ish with pork and like raisins and olive oil. It was like the best thing that I've ever eaten.
Awesome.
And listen, the judging that I do, I write really descriptive things on my comments. Like I said, I want to bathe in this food, and then I give them like a 5 stars.
God.
Or then I'm
That's
like
weird.
like chicken salad chick. I want to hole up in a motel,
I
in a
want
dirty
this-
motel with chicken salad chick and eat it for like 8 hours. That's what I write on my comments.
I want this food all up and through me. I mean, what are you saying? I mean, what are you saying?
I want to keister your tacos.
I want to use my butt cheeks as a taco holder. I mean, what? All right,
God, I want to use your butt cheeks as a taco holder. Oh my God, we have so much in common.
I mean, you ever go to a restaurant where they have like the metal, like the 3-partition taco holder?
Michelle, people say my butt cheeks look like these taco holders.
All right, move it along. All right, now we got to get into this kind of gross story.
Oh, it is gross.
Roxanne, why would you? So Doug had a. By the way, for those that don't know, Roxanne's husband, his name is Doug. We call him Dig Doug, and you're having this conversation at dinner, and Doug has to tell you to knock it off that we're eating. You're making us nauseous.
Well, I was, you learn how to pantomime in front of the children. I can't spell anymore because one of them can spell. So I just kind of use code words to try to describe it. But as soon as I saw this story, I was tempted to send it to all of you, like stop the presses limit. This needs to be in a text message. But I just sent it to you in show prep, and I sent it to Doug. So at dinner, I'm like, did you read the story I sent you? And he's like, I didn't read it because it's too disgusting.
all right, here's the headline. It was like an assault on my nose. Man details horrible odor coming from his date's BBL. Brazilian butt lift.
Ew.
As surgeons reveal why women struggle to keep clean after enhancing their butts with a Brazilian butt lift. I didn't know this was an issue. So if you get the Brazilian butt lift, it causes cleanliness and hygiene issues?
I read the whole article, and there are 2 reasons for that.
All right, you got to tread very lightly
Yeah.
here because people are like eating breakfast.
Yeah, I'm going to puke.
Yeah, can I go out and smoke during this segment? I'll be back.
And Fester doesn't even smoke. All right, so in a very cursory fashion, I mean, I am kind of fascinated by this. This guy is saying that his date smelled so bad because of her Brazilian butt lift. Why?
Well, because it's for some, I'm sure it's not the case for all people who do this. I'm quite sure of that. But for some, it becomes a hygiene issue. And there are 2 reasons. Number 1, it's harder to clean because of yoga reasons. Like your body is.
You can't like reach around?
Yes.
Or,
Now that seems ridiculous to me.
now,
That seems ridiculous. I mean, what?
Let me just cut to the chase here because I
But
don't want.
there's another piece.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'm just going to cut to the chase. Apparently, the claim is that women that have had Brazilian butt lifts, they have a hard time wiping.
And I think some of that may be in the first, post-surgery time period, because apparently it's a lot harder. The butt cheeks are a lot harder, like not like cement, but as you've gotten the procedure, hey, look, you're talking to someone who's had breast augmentation. Your boobs are harder too when you get it done. That's just like the nature of having a surgery.
Wow.
How quickly
So-
after her Brazilian butt lift did this woman hit the dating scene again?
I don't know, but if you think about it, it's
that night.
Yeah, like that happened. So how was your day? Oh, it was great. I had a Brazilian butt lift at 1.
and it's harder to move concrete, right? Harder to move, like if it's a concrete type material. to.
She's talking about hard butts.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what the hell you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard butt.
All right.
So that's it.
All right. Thanks.
So thank you. Apparently,
But it turned into a big thing online with this guy did his thing, like talking about how he noticed
Ugh.
this,
How-
and it turned into a big discussion.
Roxanne, how the hell were you talking about this at dinner with the children? And this was
Yeah.
like the topic of conversation you couldn't get off of. And Doug's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. It's
what kind of
disgusting.
freak bag house do you have that you're talking
Codes.
about Brazilian butt lifts and hygiene problems and this horrifically odoriferous date while you got a 4-year-old and 6-year-old at dinner?
Code words. Can you not have an adult conversation with the children in the
Okay.
room and either mouth things or pantomime things,
know
and
what,
they don't know what the subject matter is? That's something you're not skilled at, MJ.
Professor, go to Google. Find me the number for DCF.
Yeah, right?
I'm calling Department of Children and Families.
What was your code word for Brazilian butt lift? Was it like the Ecuadorian ass hike or something?
No, you don't need one. My kids don't
What?
know what
so,
that
so
a BBL
hold on.
is.
You make the name worse than the actual name?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you just-
Ecuadorian ass hike is worse than Brazilian butt lift?
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, it is.
It is.
You're right.
All right,
Jeez.
move it along here on the MJ Morning Show. I don't know what goes on in your house, Roxanne, but
If you're sitting at my dinner table and I say, yeah, apparently if they get this procedure, it's very hard to be hygienic. Have I upset my children in any way
Well,
whatsoever? They
but
don't know what I'm talking about.
that's just bizarre content for a dinner discussion.
Well,
They're-
in your house,
yeah,
maybe.
they're
It's-
doing dance routines in the Nook. They're not listening.
They're in
okay?
the nook.
They're in the nook doing, and
Yeah.
Doug's looking for the gravy.
And apparently the woman with the BBL has problems getting stuff out of the Nook. All right, so all right,
Nice.
You like that?
yes, I did. I'm a fan. I'm here for it.
all right, folks. If anyone saw me walking down the middle of West Shore Boulevard at Kennedy in the median strip yesterday at 5:30, 5:45, there's a reason. I lost track of the number of people that yelled MJ.
What's the matter with you?
You know where the guys used to sell the like Tampa Bay Times or the St. Pete Times or the Tampa Tribune back in the day?
When they had newspapers,
Yeah,
yes.
when newspapers used to be around. And, listen, the St. Pete Times now or the Tampa Bay Times, they publish, it's like just when they feel like it. It's like, just random. All right, so I think they publish Wednesday and Sunday. It's like, what? We're a market of 3 million people, and we got a newspaper printed twice a week. I'm like,
Nobody
what
reads the paper.
the heck?
Nobody reads the paper.
Anyway, so I'm in the middle of the median strip yesterday during the rush hour. This is about 5:30, 5:45. And seriously, a lot of people. I've lost track of how many were yelling, "Hey, MJ!" And
Dude, how famous are you?
what are
That's
you
crazy?
Dude, I've been in the market since 1994.
That's why.
People know who I am. And yeah, I'm in traffic. I'm walking down the concrete strip or the grass median, and there's a reason. In fact, one of our sponsors, Bobby from Enhance Home Solutions, solar company that we advertise. So if you want to go solar, folks, or if you've thought about solar to lower your power bills, it's Enhance Home Solutions, enhancehs.com. Bobby will come out and give you an estimate, run a whole energy calc. So I'm in the middle in traffic, and Bobby, the owner of Enhance Home Solutions, rolls down. MJ, what's going on? And he had to keep going because the hoarders are hungry. He can't stop. He's going south on West Shore in his vehicle that's all wrapped with the Enhance Home Solutions logo and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you later. And then here's the story. Why was I if you saw me literally in the median strip, like I'm begging for change at a red light. If you saw me yesterday.
Did you get trapped? Was it just
No.
poor timing?
No.
Were you standing there for a reason for a long time?
I had to get video of the traffic. So I was actually out there with another neighbor of mine. And there's like a community meeting coming up and a meeting with the developer. For those that don't know, there is a major, massive plan on the table to redevelop West Shore Mall. They're going to knock down a bunch of the mall. Stuff is going to disappear. Now, this, I think, begins like in 2025 and then goes, it's like multiple phases. But they're going to apparently turn West Shore Plaza Mall at West Shore and Kennedy into like a town center. not unlike Midtown near 275 and Dale Mabry.
Where you can get like a condo above the stores and kind of live like in a semi-urban looking development area.
I believe there are plans to put like 3,000 units over there and have it integrated with retail, some office space, residential. But we're talking about a major redevelopment project at West Shore Plaza. The problem is traffic. You can't do that without a traffic plan. And if you look at Beach Park, if you look at West Shore and Kennedy, especially if you're headed, well, it's actually both ways. But I'll give you an example. So if you're heading north on West Shore at Kennedy, the traffic beginning at like 5 p.m. is backed up all the way down West Shore. It's single lane, as you know, north and south. It's one lane. It opens up around Azeel to 2 lanes. The traffic is jammed. You got people blocking intersections. You've got that backup people trying to turn left onto Kennedy to go westbound onto the Veterans Expressway or onto Independence Parkway. It's just a mess. So can you imagine? West Shore Plaza essentially is like a failing mall, and it's already jammed. So can you imagine if they add 3,000 units at West Shore and Kennedy? And all of this new retail space, all of the residential space, if the traffic is unbelievably out of control now, what the hell's going to happen? So there has to be some major adjustments, and there's got to be a traffic plan. So I know some of the folks in my neighborhood that are working on meeting to get before the developer, the city council, and we went out yesterday just to video the traffic. And all you got to do is walk out there, and we did.
And it's out there.
And just we just walked like the whole distance from like Azeel up to Kennedy Boulevard on West Shore, and it just jammed. It's backed up, and if you add that many units and that many people, it's going to get exponentially worse. So I was out there with another person from my neighborhood who's kind of spearheading the meetings, and I said, yeah, I'll help you video it. So that's why I was playing in traffic yesterday, walking down the middle of West Shore toward Kennedy, videoing with my phone.
Anybody flick like a cigarette butt at you or anything?
No.
Or anybody? All right.
So nobody cursed me out. Nobody threw anything at me.
Are you saying that you're going to meet with the developers of this project?
There's a plan to meet with the developers in the next couple of weeks.
When you meet the developers,
yes.
Can you ask them to reserve the apartment on top of Dick's for me?
Dick's is going away, I think.
What?
Listen, they're going to demolish a good portion of West Shore
They
Plaza.
can't take my dicks, dude.
No, but they're going to take Dick's.
Bye-bye, Dicks.
No. You can't take my dicks.
You can't just lop it.
It's going to be.
Just can't lop it off.
Listen, it's going to be like a gender reassignment surgery. They're lopping dicks off. Okay,
What?
Just the tip?
Well, the Dick's is at the end, so yeah, it would be just the tip where the Dick's is.
Yeah.
Just cut it right out, and that's where I wanted my apartment on top of Dick's. People are like, where do you live, Fester? Like, right on top of Dick's.
Yes,
cool.
Andrew, the producer, wants to say something.
Have you watched that video that I sent you about what they're doing to I-275 in that area?
I have not seen that, but again, remember they knocked down the DoubleTree over Christmas.
Oh, man.
They're doing a whole new West Shore interchange to go to the veterans and the airport. There's like a massive project. Yeah, that's why the DoubleTree was knocked down. Charlie's Steakhouse is going to be knocked down. They're going to relocate across from International Plaza. So a lot of changes coming because the area is expanding. The traffic is out of control. So the redevelopers of West Shore Mall, they got to work with the city. There's got to be a plan because the traffic load is heavy right now, and it would get exponentially worse. All right, moving along, man. I've got a great story. This is phenomenal. This is fantastic. When we talk about celebrities on the show, it's not us. It's just the general conditions.
They're in the news for some reason.
Usually it's something negative. Usually when we talk about celebrities, more times than not, it's a scandal. It's something's going on. But I've got a great story here, and it's so simple. But I saw this yesterday. I'm like, man, this is fantastic. Somebody snapped photos of Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, and Ben Affleck going to the regular movie theater, like you and me, regular people, going to see Dune 2. They're in the movie theater, but someone snapped pictures of them, like picking up their trash off the floor to take it out and deposit it into the receptacles on the way out of the theater.
Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah,
We're a bunch of losers.
Listen, I'm just saying that a lot of people just leave their crap everywhere. Hey, we played the audio of the ramp worker for American Airlines. We played. Hey, Andrew, is that still up on my button bar? Is that still up there? Put it back up there. For those that don't know, we played this later in the show yesterday. There's a video that this guy who works for American Airlines posted, and he just went off on a rip. And he was just ripping people that just make a mess on the airplane. They leave their trash everywhere. The flight attendant runs up and down the aisle 5-6 times with a plastic bag so you can hand them their trash, but still people have all kinds of crap jammed into the seat pocket in front of them, on the floor. So hey, listen to this. And the point I'm trying to make is that J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they were cleaning up their trash instead of just leaving it in a movie theater. And while very simple, and it seems like a decent thing to do, how many people just leave their crap? The buckets of popcorn, the giant soda cups. People just leave their crap everywhere. And listen, this is the American Airlines guy that we played yesterday.
I got something to say. Firstly, before I start reading, hi, my name is Dre. I'm a ramper for American. And I put your bags on the plane, I take your bags off the plane, I clean off the plane, I transfer your bags to your next flight. The whole 9 yards. I can tell y'all this. Y'all have no care for how y'all leave these planes after y'all get off of them. It doesn't matter how many times a flight attendant comes up and down the aisle with a trash bag saying, hey, do you have trash? Y'all still put the trash in the seat. Y'all still have containers of food on the ground. Y'all still got Gatorade bottles in the seat. Why did I find a diaper under a seat today? Y'all are literally so nasty, and I can only imagine what your house looked like. And yeah, I know this video is not going to change anything because people are still going to leave their trash in the seat. But I just have to come and let y'all know how nasty y'all are. And that I know your house stank. And your mom should have taught you better on my side.
I wonder what your house looks like.
Your house stink.
Oh, it's very clean.
Your house is nasty. I love
clean.
this guy. That's Dre.
He's got a little bit of an attitude.
I love Dre from American Airlines. I'm telling you, he ought to shoot the new safety message, and he ought to get on the video screen, you know, the flight safety message, and he ought to deliver that same thing. You know, hey, I know your house stink. Pick up your crap. Don't leave Gatorade bottles and poopy diapers under the seat.
Oh, no,
Don't be a slob.
That's an addendum to the regular safety message of if there's a change in the cabin air pressure,
Or
masks will drop.
Or if the
Secure your mask before helping children.
Or if the side of the airplane blows out.
Okay, let's not cover
If
that.
the
in
door
there.
Don't have
blows
a
out.
blowout.
Anyway, so back over to J-Lo.
All right, so J-Lo's picking up her own trash.
Yeah, listen.
Taylor Swift was seen picking up trash in the suite. She's a billionaire.
Is this a staged photo?
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't. I saw it. It just looks like the movie's over, and also it looks like they stayed until the bitter end. And listen, they're in the movie business, and that's one thing when I lived in L.A., and I lived in Hollywood for a couple of years, and that's one thing you notice out there is that a lot of people, more than any other part of the country, they stay in the theater until every single credit rolls. And I think it's a lot. It's sort of, you have a lot of people in the industry out there. There's just a lot more people that stay and watch the credits out in Hollywood in the theaters. That's one of the things that I noticed. Also, this is interesting. When a trailer runs, and this is crazy, and I haven't seen this anywhere else, whether it's New York, whether it's here in Tampa Bay, that during the previews, the people are so vocal out in Hollywood, they will literally hiss at the screen. So
During the trailers?
During the trailers, for the previews, if there's something that's like a total stinker, you will hear people, they go, "Sss." I mean, they will hiss like snakes in the theater. All right, anyway, back over to J-Lo and Ben Affleck. And listen, I thought I would recognize them because I thought this was a very nice thing to do.
Staged.
someone took pictures, took video of them cleaning up this. You got Ben Affleck bending over and picking up his trash off the floor. I don't think it's staged. I really don't.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I make my kids, when we go to the park, I make my kids go pick up random trash before.
Ew, it could be fentanyl on
I know. That's a great parenting move until they pick up a hypodermic needle.
That's
right?
what I was going to say.
Right?
Roxanne's kids are picking up hypodermic needles and fentanyl at the park. Don't let them touch trash at the.
They get plastic bags. They know the way to do it. Just like a little paper towel,
like
or
a roadside prison cleanup
yeah,
crew.
Yeah, and make the place better than when you arrive.
Yeah.
When you leave, make it better.
Why don't you get your kids little corrections department reflector vests?
Yeah.
How about that?
Like roadside cleanup, when they have like some sheriff there with a shotgun
That's what I'm
leaning
saying.
against his white Crown Vic.
All right. So Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck on Monday evening, they went to a screening of Dune 2 at an LA theater, and after the movie ended, they were spotted cleaning up.
Yeah, Ben probably dropped his bottle.
Every picture of them together, he looks like he's about to strangle her.
That's not true.
Yeah, look at pictures of them together. He's like, oh God, what am I doing?
He's the happiest unhappy guy in the world.
In the clip, in the video, a casually dressed couple, they're seen tidying up their seats. It didn't look like Lopez had that much to clean up. She was holding a very full soda and popcorn bucket.
Without the Dune anus-looking
They didn't
accessory.
have the Dune butt bucket.
Yeah, I'm looking at her
the,
right now.
the popcorn butt bucket.
Yes.
But I don't think this was staged. I think they just did the right thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they just go to movies together, like normal movie theaters.
They did.
Yeah. They probably rent them out.
Listen, a Monday night they go to Dune. They didn't pick a Friday or Saturday. They didn't pick opening weekend, where obviously it'd be jammed. They picked a Monday night. And I think I'm recognizing that they did something nice. They didn't just leave their slop on the floor in the movie theater.
Guys are disrespecting my art by leaving your trash in a movie theater. The Queen's drunk.
So
The Queen's drunk. Remember that?
That's the best Ben impression.
I wish I had that. What happened to that audio?
It's been scraped from the world.
It has. So years ago, we had an audio chunk. It might be on my hard drive because I still have tens of thousands of audio clips.
I've looked so hard for it.
Yeah, I did as well. But it might be on the hard drive. But I have tens of thousands of sound bites that I haven't cataloged yet. Because when I left the MJ Morning Show at Clear Channel, iHeart, they gave me like a 2 terabyte drive of every chunk of audio for 18 years that we had in the computer system. So I probably have it. But it's Ben Affleck on a British morning talk show.
It's a chat show.
Imitating the Queen drunk. And he's going like, oh, I'm so drunk.
I think he was drunk.
He was. Those are during his days where I think that he was, lit most of the time.
So the British show called The Big Breakfast went to Hawaii to interview him while he was filming the movie Pearl Harbor.
You found it?
I found a written out version of it.
And then he goes into a whole drunk Queen impersonation. And the hosts were like horrified, All right, moving along here on the MJ Morning Show. I just want to recognize Ben Affleck and J-Lo for cleaning up their seat area at a movie theater in Los Angeles. I know we've talked about this in the past. Do you know remember the guy that made the Guinness Book of World Records for eating the most Big Macs ever?
Nope, I don't remember.
No,
him.
the guy who did it in consecutive days?
No. There's a 70-year-old guy that's eaten over 34,000 Big Macs.
Yeah, he's eaten one like every day of his life.
Yeah.
That guy.
This guy, exactly. And they've now expanded it because last year he added another 728 Big Macs. So that's even more. It's like 2 a day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I had a discussion with Michelle last night. And folks, you might not believe this. You might be stunned. You might be absolutely stunned, or like P. Diddy says,
I'm shocked at this information.
This guy has eaten more than 34,000 McDonald's Big Macs. Folks would say, oh, man, you're going to die. Guy's like healthy as an ox. His cholesterol is like 165. And the guy eats like 2 Big Macs a day.
I don't get that.
For decades and decades. So he broke the Guinness Book of World Records some years ago, and he added another 728 Big Macs last year in 2023. So as of the writing of this story, he's at 34,128 Big Macs. The reason why I'm bringing this up is not because we have the new number. Do you know how many Big Macs that I've actually eaten in my life?
I was wondering that just now. How many?
Are you serious? You've been a wise
Dude,
man.
that used to be my burger for a while. I've had a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many Big Macs do you think that I've eaten?
None.
yeah, it's gonna be like one or none.
I'm going to say 4.
I might have had one, but I don't remember.
Huh?
I have.
How many Arch Deluxes have you had?
I have virtually, seriously, I believe I've had 0 or maybe a bite out of one Big Mac.
Well, I'm low on my Big Mac count too, but are you a quarter pounder with cheese guy? Me
so
too.
That's
Me
the
too.
point.
Ooh.
So at McDonald's, I always would get the quarter pounder with cheese. I'm not into the special sauce.
Okay.
Which, the mayonnaise and ketchup, like the Russian dressing. Or
there's no ketchup in it.
Or Thousand Island dressing, whatever it is.
Take it back.
Whatever it is.
The chef said there's no
Whatever.
ketchup in Big
Yeah.
Mac sauce. Common misnomer.
I don't like the special sauce. So that's my deal. So I don't know if I've ever had a Big Mac. I might have taken a bite out or I might have deconstructed a Big Mac, but we'll go with I've had 0 to maybe a half a Big Mac in my entire life because I'm a quarter pounder with cheese guy. And I had this discussion with Michelle last night, and Michelle said, I've known you for over 30 years. I've known Michelle, folks, for like 37 years. And she has never, and she noted this, you know what? I've never, ever seen you eat a Big Mac. And the reason is I never have really had a Big Mac.
Paprika. That's what gives it its color. It's paprika. It's not ketchup.
So upset.
This is important, Froggy.
But
This
I'm
is
not a
real.
Big Mac
This is
guy.
real.
Oh, and then speaking of burgers, Wendy's trying to clean up their mess with that surge pricing thing.
Oh, yeah.
They came out with the story that they were going to have dynamic pricing and that a burger at lunchtime when it's busy might be more expensive than an after lunch rush, or the dinner burger price is going to go up. So Wendy's, this story rolled out, and that's exactly what they meant. Wendy's came out and said that they were going to experiment with dynamic pricing where the price of the burger or the food is going to fluctuate based on demand, like Uber or Lyft demand, like the dynamic pricing. And the outpouring of hate, the anger. Wendy's was roasted. People got like violent, essentially, on social media. And then Wendy's backtracked. And it was like, oh, well, we didn't say that. No, you did say that. You were talking about charging more for your food at different times of the day, which I think that sucks. I would avoid that. And of course, the pushback, the feedback was so negative that Wendy's had to backtrack and say, no, we're not going to do it. So now they're backtracking even more. Wendy's is going to sell $1 burgers after their whole mess with the fluctuating dynamic pricing.
Great.
It was a marketing ploy, man.
What, to
Please.
sell $1 burgers?
Yeah, I'm starving. Do you
All
have
right.
some burgers in here?
No.
Let's ruin our reputation
hold on.
to sell $1
Yeah.
burgers.
Frog, you're suggesting they came up with this plan to make everyone all pissed off and then say, oh, we're sorry, now here's $1 burger?
Marketing.
No,
Well,
it's not.
101.
You know what?
This is a wet cleanup on aisle all.
I mean, I'm thinking cleanup. However, look at how much people talked about Wendy's. And then now people are thinking about Wendy's, and now they push out their offer.
Well-
Maybe they always wanted to do the $1 offer for March Madness, and they're like, here's a way to just keep people talking.
They've done promotions like this in the past.
Never.
The deal is they're trying to smooth things over, take advantage of the chatter, but will the positives outweigh the negatives? I mean, listen, my guess is that this will blow over. You know, Wendy's, for a fast food chain, has one of the best burgers out there.
They have a quality burger.
They
so
do.
That's
So
yep.
here's the deal. Wendy's is going to offer up a $1 Dave's single or $2 Dave's double anytime from now through April 10th by checking the offers tab in the Wendy's app. And their announcement came after the dynamic pricing fiasco where people got violent.
Oh, that's the other thing, man. I don't want to go to your restaurant if I have to use the damn app. I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't want to have to wait and, open up my McDonald's app or my Burger King app or my Wendy's app.
Oh, yeah, it's so difficult. It's so taxing.
It's a pain in the ass.
What's your caloric burn on that?
How many apps do you have?
You get a hot and sweaty for a hot and juicy?
Do I need to have a Wendy's app on my phone for all time now?
I mean, how difficult is it? You push something on your Apple Store or your Google Play Store, your app downloads in 22 seconds, and then you just use the offers tab to get your buck burger, your $2 double.
Probably a Chinese spy operation.
Seriously, who's MJ over here? I've never heard MJ be a proponent of downloading apps so readily. Mr. I don't these apps. I don't want any of these apps on my phone.
Find out where I'm at. Chinese spy operation.
Wendy's listen, I don't have TikTok. I never use TikTok because it's a Chinese spy operation and data collector. The whole, what is it, Temu Temu, yeah. Well, they call it Temu.
That's the name.
It is. It's Temu, but a lot of people call it Temu. That's a Chinese spy operation as well. So, get TikTok and Temu off your phones, folks.
Yeah, but download Wendy's for a $2 burger.
Listen, I'll tell you right now that Wendy's is not a Chinese spy operation.
That you know of?
Mm-hmm. Wendy's CEO Kirk Tanner announced that they were going to invest $20 million in high-tech menu boards that they can update prices in real time based on demand. And the pushback was, violent. And now they're trying to clean up the mess. So now through April 10th, $1 singles or $2 Dave's doubles. And with the price of even fast food these days, that's a hell of a deal. So their gaffe turns into your benefit, essentially.
If Wendy's really wanted to piss everybody off, they would have said they're coming out with a nude calendar of actual Wendy. And oh my God.
Wait a sec. Just discovered. Nude pictures of Dave Thomas.
Oh
God.
I'd look. I mean, not saying I'd like it. I'm saying I'd look.
And Wendy.
All right, come on.
As an adult.
See Dave.
As an adult.
In separate photos,
right.
Mr. Father-daughter.
As an adult.
Wait, it's not Oedipus. What's that?
Electra?
Yeah, thank you.
You got the Oedipus complex and the Electra complex. All right, now, this is insane. A guy had his testicles bitten by a scorpion at his hotel room in Las Vegas.
Ooh, you know what? I've learned you've got to check the bed sheets when you stay in a hotel out west. We don't think about that in Florida.
For tarantulas?
I found a scorpion in my bed at a hotel
Where?
room.
Wait a minute. A guy just had his jewels bitten by a scorpion in Vegas.
Yep, in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix. I was at a hotel, pulled back those sheets, and there was a little, scorpion.
Are scorpions like cockroaches of the West?
No.
Because I remember we had a scorpion that we found 3 scorpions over the years at the old radio station.
Yeah, we had some scorpions in South Tampa.
I've never seen a scorpion in the wild in my life.
The old J-Core, Clear Channel, iHeart building on Gandy, which is now like an abandoned shell. But yeah, we would find scorpions in the building. It was just weird. But this is insane. A man claims he was stung on his testicles by a scorpion while sleeping in his Las Vegas hotel room. Michael Farchi.
Michael Farchi?
That's what it sounds like.
It's Farchi.
These names feel made up. This doesn't feel...
Michael Farchi. It's not fart cheese. Michael Farchi, who lives in California, apparently had a scorpion in his bed while he was staying at the Venetian. Doesn't the Venetian have a bedbug problem too?
Did they?
Hold on, Fester, look that up. No, it's not did they. It's I think they do now. Ooh. I think the Venetian is among the hotels in Vegas right now that has a bedbug problem. But there are a number of hotels on the Strip. Do you have it? Yeah, right there. Look at this. Health inspectors from the Southern Nevada Health District confirm bedbug sightings at the Encore, the Venetian, the Mirage, and the Excalibur. Unbelievably, that dumpster fire Circus is bed bug free.
Really? You stay there for $30 a night.
That's too much. I think it's $19.99.
Too much.
Place. Michelle and I took the kids to Circus to the Adventure Dome.
Yeah.
We took them there like back in 2009 or something. And that place, that many years ago, was a disgusting, paint flaking, worn out disaster. The whole place is just like filth. And then I read an article recently that they have not like put anything into the place. Now they're putting like new carpet in certain areas, but that place, they've done like nothing to that place in like 40 years. And but I don't see them on the bed bug list.
Amazingly.
So, yeah, Venetian, man, they got problems. You got a guy getting bitten on the family jewels by a scorpion at the Venetian. They've got bed bugs, apparently, as well.
How do you know the scorpion was already there?
Yeah.
What is it? This is an elaborate lawsuit ruse. A guy smuggles in his own scorpion, taps his junk against it a couple of times.
Why? Because this is something you would do. Yeah, exactly. Fester
You're
thinks
thinking of it of the ruse angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. If I could find it, I would.
he said, listen to this. Michael Farchi says, it sounds like a brand of cheese doodles. Yeah, Farchi's. So he says, quote, I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area.
Yeah, it was a scorpion.
It felt like a sharp glass or knife jamming me in my...
Yeah.
Farchi, who had been staying at the Venetian, where rooms average around $400 a night. He was with his family at the time. He immediately went to the bathroom to search for the source of the excruciating pain.
Oh, my God. Here's a pair of his, boxer shorts?
Yes, hold on. He says, I went to the restroom and I saw a scorpion hanging on my underwear. He snapped several photos of the bright orange creature dangling from his briefs before heading to the hospital because he was in a lot of pain. Everyone was in shock. Nobody believed what happened. He said, I couldn't believe it. He filed a complaint with the hotel before checking out. Staff comped his room in the aftermath. Now he's considering legal action. It's not known how the scorpion got into the room. I heard a rumor that the scorpion was there for a poker tournament.
He was a talented guy.
That's what I heard.
That's blackjack.
Michelle and I and the kids, we've stayed at the Venetian. I mean, we were there like 12, 13 years ago. That might have been the trip that we went to Circus. But I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
we had like a little one-bedroom suite kind of thing.
Cool.
No scorpions, though.
No.
You know, I'm considered a whale out there, so you know they. No, I'm kidding.
You're a
I'm
fish.
considered
Fester's,
a whale.
yeah, that's right. Fester's a whale.
You're a fish. You lose money.
You don't have to go to Vegas to be a whale,
Go there.
or the Hard Rock.
Sir, we'd like to tell you now
Yeah.
the buffet is closed.
Yeah, a rep for the Venetian issued a statement saying that the resort has protocols for all incidents, and we can confirm they were followed in this incident. Oh, wait a minute. So in the management manual, in the operations manual, there's a tab for scorpion bites on customers' nuts?
Oh, poor testes.
That's a crazy story. So,
I wonder if there's a reason why he bit him there. Just meaty.
Probably all the peanut butter. I don't know.
What the hell?
what are you,
I don't
what are
know.
you saying?
I don't
I
know.
just got a little quick glimpse of the Roxanne Fetish Island.
Hold on. Are you are you invoking that urban legend with the guy that and his dog and the peanut butter?
Froggy just asked a question about, he basically said,
There's
why
no dog in the picture.
He
Hold on,
basically said,
wait a minute.
listen, let me explain myself. He basically said, why would he be attracted to that body part? And in my head, all of a sudden I got a visual of that body part and food.
God.
Because
And he what? He slathered some Skippy on his junk? What was the iteration of that old urban legend story where Fester, do a search.
Yes.
Try to find the story of the it's an urban legend, folks, where a guy or a woman, I think I've heard it both ways, put peanut butter on their stuff, and then the dog was like licking it off, and then didn't like coworkers. What was? There's a story. What was that story? And it's total urban legend. We've all heard this, that someone walked in a surprise, or a relative had a key to the house. What was do you remember what that story was?
I've heard different variations.
Okay, I have a story out of Great Britain in 2018.
Yeah.
No.
A dog ripped off and swallowed a man's genitals after he smothered his crotch in peanut butter.
Yeah. Listen, these peanut butter urban legend stories, these go back to like the 1990s. I've heard those for. All right. Well, anyway, moving along.
And who even knows if scorpions like peanut butter, right?
Yeah, really. All right, here's the deal. The Sopranos booth has sold on eBay. This is, again, from The Sopranos, the final episode where Tony gets whacked. And yeah, David Chase, the Sopranos creator and producer, he pretty much has confirmed that, yeah, that was the intent, that Tony's lights went out when the screen went black because Tony was taken out by the guy, the Goomba,
In the members only jacket?
in the members only jacket. So that's really been confirmed. The final scene was shot in Holston's Diner. And Holston's Diner is in Bloomfield, New Jersey, where our family, we've been there. We didn't get to sit in the Sopranos booth because it was occupied when we were there. We sat right across from it. But the booth has sold on eBay. The owners of this iconic ice cream place and burgers and famous for onion rings as well, they're redoing the place. Actually, it's already been redone. They ordered new booths, and the issue is that the booths were falling apart.
Yeah.
The installation of the current interior was from 1976.
It's a good run.
Yeah, and they just had to get rid of it, and they put the booth where the Soprano family was sitting, they put the booth on eBay, and it sold for $82,600.
Jeez.
At this point, the high bidder, if it's real, keep in mind that sometimes you get like these phony bids, and it's going to be interesting to see whether the deal is actually consummated and they pay for the booth. Because there have been some high-profile auctions in the past where the bidder is just a crank and they just stiff the seller and they never respond. So we'll see what actually happens here. But somebody did buy. There were 240 bids, and somebody won it on Monday for $82,600. The identity is being kept secret at this point, according to the sellers, the owners of Holston's. But there's even a picture of the booth being carried out of the diner earlier this week. So we'll find out what's going to happen. So if someone bought it for $82,600, you think they just want it as a conversation piece in their man cave, or you think this is going to be for some
mafia historian, probably.
or a tour?
A museum.
A museum? Yeah. Exactly.
Mafia museum.
I just thought it was interesting that the booth has sold on eBay, $82,600. Hey, Andrew, what time yesterday do you find out that the driver ran away from the crash on Dale Mabry and 275? What time during the show? Because Andrew says to me, oh, by the way, the guy that got into the crash on Dale Mabry, because we mentioned it. It was in our traffic reports. And then I even mentioned, because we were looking at a helicopter live shot during the show yesterday, and there was an accident of a car all bashed up and spun the wrong way on Dale Mabry, right at 275. And we were discussing this on the show. Andrew, when did you find out that the guy ran away from the scene?
It was somewhere probably midway through the 9 o'clock hour.
Like, let me know that kind of stuff so we can get it on the air, though, all right?
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah. I mean, after the show, it's not like I can bust into, Phil Collins right after the dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum and say, hey, by the way, breaking news update, guy ran away.
That'll be your new breaking news sounder.
Well, here's the deal. There was an accident. 4-vehicle crash, North Dale Mabry, right at 275 yesterday. And then the guy that caused the crash ran from the scene.
Any word
And then he abandoned his dog. I mean, this is a crazy story.
Not the puppy.
Yeah, so the driver that caused the crash, Monday, it was yesterday morning. Yeah, because the story from Channel 28 says Monday morning. No, this was yesterday.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it was Tuesday morning.
Today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Today's Wednesday. So he ran off. So Tampa police said that around 6:30, 911 calls came in. TPD responds to the crash. Northdale Maybury right at 275. No serious injuries. But the person that caused the crash fled the scene. So, you wonder, were they liquored up? Were they, intoxicated?
Just guilty. I mean, what kind of car did the person have?
I see a bashed up car facing the wrong direction in the middle lanes at Dale Mabry over there. And then cops finally said they found him after he fled the scene. And they're also working to get a dog belonging to the guy that fled, I guess, to safety.
They have something called the pound, right? Don't they have animal services in the county? How hard is that?
Yeah, well, I guess the guy had a dog, fled the scene and left his dog. And then the dog was running through traffic as well.
So wrong.
Yeah, I haven't seen any update like who the guy was. Fester, see if there's a name attached to this guy.
All right.
And they took him into custody. Was he drunk? Was he fleeing because he caused an accident and knew that he would
Sums up.
Fail a field sobriety test or whatever? Yeah, that's the question. But, I mean, and then to run away and leave your dog? What's the matter with you? I would charge him with animal cruelty as well.
And chop off his nut. Both of them.
It took you a while to emphasize the.
I was thinking
double.
maybe one or two.
Why do you say that?
Just for punishment, man. I mean, for dogs, dogs are special. You don't treat dogs like that. I say the worst punishment.
Okay.
We don't want to kill the guy.
Here's the dog. Here's the dog.
Oh,
There's helicopter footage of the dog just running around looking.
he
Yeah,
deserves it.
The TV news choppers have the dog running through traffic.
So sad.
And luckily, the dog wasn't run over. There allegedly is, listen to this. Fester, you find a name of this guy?
I'm still watching the dog running.
Stop watching the dog.
I'm in the middle of my investigation.
And then the choppers, the news choppers up ahead, overhead, you can see some of the cops are trying to run after the dog to capture the dog.
No, they just think you're playing when you do that.
There's got to be a name of the guy. I mean, it would be in the arrest report because they took him into custody.
Officers later found the person, took him into custody. They're also working to find. Okay, yeah, I don't see the name.
That's weird. All right, now listen to this. True or false? You think this is real? Yes or no? A dominatrix.
Yes, true.
You haven't even heard it yet?
Oh, sorry.
Who apparently partied with Prince Harry at an infamous Las Vegas party is threatening to release nude photos of him.
Oh,
Well-
no.
Do you think that Prince Harry put himself in a compromising position where somebody has nude photos of him at a crazy, debaucherous Las Vegas party involving a dominatrix?
I'm going to say he was really drunk there. So she's taking advantage of that, hoping he doesn't remember, but that actually she's just using one of those apps where you create a nude of someone based on what you think they'd look like nude.
Oh, like an AI-generated thing?
Yes.
Carrie Royale, I'm sure that's her real name, is threatening to sell never-seen-before photos of Prince Harry naked at a Las Vegas party. Yeah, she said she'd post them on her OnlyFans subscription account. She said, I have some nice pictures of him in the buff.
Oh, God. Nobody wants to see that freckly little...
What?
She says, I have poolside pictures of before the night and shots of Harry in the buff is what she says. She claims that she kissed Prince Harry after she was invited to join strippers and other guests at the Wynn Hotel back in 2012. Harry then was 27, had been drinking all day, and was apparently naked playing air guitar with a pool cue.
Okay.
Then, I guess, played a game of strip billiards at some point.
Sounds like a party.
Photos of naked Harry being hugged by scantily clad women were published in The Sun in 2012. So they were shared online, but she says she has more.
Okay, so we've already seen these pictures.
I don't recall that. But she's claiming that she's got additional nude photos of Prince Harry.
Nobody cares to see that.
Yeah, and he's pushing 40. I think when you're 40 and stuff like that comes out, it's like, great.
Does the
Look at me
carpet
when I
match?
was in my
Carpet match the drapes?
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry, what?
He's like completely albino down
I'm
there.
just saying, he's pushing 40. A little nudies from his 20s come out. Who cares? Whatever.
Do you think that the guy that is publishing Taylor Swift's airplane maneuvers and traffic, do you think that constitutes stalking? Is that stalking?
I mean, if I was her, I would be like, look at this stalker. By definition, that's what a stalker does. They track your movement, right?
So
but this is available data, which, by the way, I don't know why Taylor Swift doesn't block the data, because I have several apps. The one that I rely on most is Flight Radar 24. And if I want to see what's landing, for instance, at Tampa International, if I want to see what aircraft are making a one right landing pilot request, ignoring voluntary noise abatement rules, because jets are supposed to be landing over the bay on one left if they're landing to the north. And a lot of pilots will ask for a one right landing because for the private jets, they can get to the FOBs, they can get the signature and the private little air hangars. They can get there faster if they land on the right runway versus the left runway. But I notice if I'm trying to see what jet is landing, that on the private jets, a lot of times it says NA, not available. So the departure, the arrival location, the registration number or the N number as it's called, a lot of times it says NA, not available. Wow. So they're able to block the information. Why doesn't Taylor Swift and her jet people, why don't they block her information? And is there a way for this Florida college kid to get the information anyway? Again, we've talked about this numerous times. We chatted about this a couple of weeks ago because lawyers for Taylor Swift were threatening a whole new round of legal action against Jack Sweeney. He's a junior at the University of Central Florida, and he says that the First Amendment gives him the right to publish publicly available information about the flight paths of private jets owned by the rich and the famous.
It's public information.
This is the guy that famously was tracking Elon Musk and pissing off Elon Musk, and that was a big story. And then he tracks Taylor Swift. He also has tracked Governor DeSantis, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, several Russian oligarchs. He uses the traffic website, theairtraffic.com.
What's up with this guy?
Now, I don't know. I got to check that site out to see if information is blocked on, let's say, Flight Radar 24 or FlightAware. Does it show up on theairtraffic.com? I need to check that out because I know that some planes, they can block the information and make sure it's not available. To thwart these trackers.
What's the problem with this guy? What's the problem people are having with this guy aside from Taylor Swift?
Because people think that he's stalking. Now, the Taylor Swift story is gaining momentum and steam because the lawyers for Taylor Swift say that Sweeney posting the comings and goings of Taylor Swift's private plane is technological stalking. And if it's publicly available information from the FAA, is that stalking if you publish, Taylor Swift's plane is flying from Teterboro, New Jersey to Las Vegas, Nevada?
So what this guy is doing is being a journalist.
Yeah, into the mic.
We're talking pretty loud.
Yeah. No,
Shut up. What this guy's doing is being a journalist.
I think I agree with you.
Shut up, man. Both of you guys. Talk about Taylor Swift stalker. Go ahead.
So Sweeney also tracks multiple other famous individuals. And an attorney for Taylor Swift says that they're considering filing a lawsuit and claiming that he is stalking the celebrity.
It's a weird hobby to have, I think. Right?
Is he protected? Is this free speech or is it stalking? What do you think? Roxanne, yes or no?
I think that when I think of, okay, as a woman, and so this is Taylor Swift, you know, she's like, "Ah, look at this stalker. He's like tracking every one of my movements."
Is that what she
so then
talks?
in that, I'm sorry, Taylor. That's just my girl voice. So in that,
That's
It's
your
okay. Don't
That's your
worry about
girl
it.
voice.
No problem.
it's even my voice to imitate myself. But
It's a really affected, annoying voice.
But I think that, that she probably thinks that. But I mean, like, on paper, I guess he's allowed to do it. I guess Fester's right with his journalism.
He's reporting public information. He's not stalking her personally.
Yeah.
He's not making a threat toward her person. That's a stalker. He's
Yeah.
not inside the dumpster outside of her apartment. He's not knocking on her door. He's reporting publicly found information.
Yeah, I don't consider it stalking. I would side with the college kid that is just posting publicly available information.
So should she be able to just, in turn, I guess she is kind of being like, look at this creep. What can she do to like expose him back? I guess is what she's doing.
Nothing?
He's a freshman at the
Yeah.
University of Central
No,
Florida.
he's
Yeah.
a junior.
A junior. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. He ate at Jimmy John's 3 times last week. Oh, I got you.
Gotcha. Got my eye on you.
Froggy, got a couple of things for you.
Ooh.
I think you'll be excited about both. Did you know that a Jimmy Buffett Florida license plate is close to approval?
Really? No, I didn't.
Froggy, you are a big parrot head. You went into mourning for months after.
Still in mourning.
I'm sorry. Froggy is still in mourning after the passing of Jimmy Buffett. What, about 6 months? When did Buffett pass away?
I don't want to think about it.
When
But it's
was
been
it?
like 6 months or so.
Fester, can you look up the death date of Jimmy Buffett?
How does Froggy not have it tattooed to his
Exactly.
inner thigh?
You know what? I would figure that on the back window of your brand new F-150 from Veterans Ford, that you'd have one of those in memoriam,
Yeah.
like vinyl decal stickers on
A
the back
sad
window.
parrot.
Nobody-
A sad parrot.
Nobody look at their phones. Nobody look at their phones. Who in here knows what day Jimmy Buffett's birthday is?
I don't know.
Froggy, don't look at your phone. Do you know?
No. I don't.
What? How can you guys not know this?
How does this tie in? What is
Because
it?
his birthday's Christmas Day.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, well.
When did Buffett pass away? Fester.
I'm looking at the Buffett license plate
Right.
possibilities.
I need to know when did Buffett pass away? Just
It
out
was
of curiosity.
September 1st, 2023.
Oh, so we're close. It was almost like 6 months, almost 6 months ago, right?
Very bad
Yeah.
day.
Well, the next specialty license plate. Do you know how many specialty license plates there are in Florida?
300.
Damn many.
When I took Julian to go get his driver's test at the tax collector's office on Falkenberg Road, they've got like 2 walls of the license plates. I counted. I wanted to see how many freaking specialty license plates are there in Florida, and I think I counted like 137 license plates. How do you know what state it is? If there's like a hit and run, what state was it? I don't know. I can't tell. You know, if it's a standard white license plate with a green Florida outline and an orange in the middle, you know it's Florida. But with 137 specialty plates or whatever the hell it is,
Haha!
what?
According to a website called Google,
Yes.
when I type in how many specialty license plates in Florida, it comes back with about 200.
I don't know. What's the date on this? Because there were not 200 on the wall. I counted
They
like
may not have had, there may be so many damn plates, there wasn't enough room on the wall.
not enough wall space.
Go to a bigger county collector's office.
We're going to need a bigger boat. So, and now let's add to it the Jimmy Buffett license plate. The Senate earlier this week here in Florida, they passed Senate Bill, I guess 403, which would introduce a host of plates, including the Margaritaville specialty plate. So now it's going to go to DeSantis's desk for signature. So it looks like a Jimmy Buffett margarita plate is coming. What else? Also, a Universal Orlando Resort license plate.
Really? Okay, so according to the Palm Beach Post, in
Yep.
December, they said there's about 200 different plates.
That's ridiculous.
Do you know what the best-selling of these dumb plates are?
The best-selling specialty plate in Florida is
The one that says Endless Summer.
Oh, really?
and then sea turtles, and then University of Florida.
What about the manatees? Come on, what about the manatees?
Manatees are not. Oh, they're like number 8. 58.
Endless Summer.
Yeah.
The one with the surfer?
Endless Summer with Surfer, which is amazing because Florida is really not a surfing
It's a movie.
state. Helping the Sea Turtles, UF, Miami Heat, FSU, Bucks, Dolphins, Manatees.
I want the Aileen Wuornos plate. When is that coming out?
Right?
That's.
Eileen.
I want the Lobster Boy plate.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I miss that
Wait a
guy.
minute. Hold on a minute. This is funny. What? Think about this. What crazy? We don't go to phones on this.
Like the Ted Bundy license
Oh,
plate?
Ted Bundy
Yeah.
license. What? Listen, there are 200 plates.
How about the
What?
public access pig hat guy?
What?
Remember that guy?
No.
Used to be on public access with a
No.
pig.
All right. Hey, seriously, let's go to phones here quickly. With a claim of 200 specialty plates, a new Jimmy Buffett margarita plate coming, apparently, Universal Orlando Resort plate, Support General Aviation plate, Recycle Florida, Boating Capital of the World plate. Oh, the Villages is getting a plate.
Really?
The Villages, may all your dreams come true license plate.
That's
What the
lovely.
heck? How about the syphilis capital of Florida license plate?
STD capital of America.
The gonorrhea capital of Florida. The Villages.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
let's go to phones on this. Seriously. I'm joking around. So a Lobster Boy license plate, an Aileen Wuornos plate. You said what?
I said Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy plate.
That'd be fun.
What? Well, yeah, a Florida man plate. That goes without saying. All right. So what specialty plate can you think of? What, and I'm not looking for serious ones, obviously. When you look at Florida and some of the craziness that happens in Florida, what are some great Florida additional specialty plates that we ought to recommend that will never get approved? All right, let's go to phones. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What Florida specialty plate, from a comical sense, would you like to see?
Who's that tiger lady who buried her husband?
Oh,
How about that one?
the Polk County meth lab plate.
That's great.
Like an exploding house or something. What do you think? Polk County meth plate.
Yes.
You're on something.
I'm telling you.
To something.
What's the tiger lady's name? I forgot her
I
name.
can't think of her name.
What's the What's the tiger lady's name up in Hillsborough County who buried her dead husband? Allegedly.
Fran.
No.
Baskin. Carol
Carol
Baskins.
Baskin.
Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins. Oh, a plate of her feeding her dead husband to a tiger.
That's what we're saying. Yes.
All right, now
We
we
just forgot her name.
don't know. We don't know. Disclaimer: we don't know if he's really dead.
We'll put allegedly on the plate.
Yeah, allegedly.
At the bottom.
Like where it says, "In God we trust."
or the speculation. So we don't know if Fran. What's her name again?
Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins. We don't know if she did off her husband or buried him on the preserve or fed the husband.
The Tigers.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
We don't know. All we know is the crazy rumors and stories. I'm not making any accusations, but that would be a great play. Look at the phones. Let's go to the lines. What crazy Florida license plate would you like to see as a specialty plate? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I'd love to hear your recommendations right now. Let's go. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. Thomas is in Tampa. Hey, Thomas, what specialty plate would you like to see, buddy?
I'd like to see Casey Anthony child welfare.
Oh,
come on.
No.
Nice.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
That's what we're looking for.
Brutal.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
Thomas. It's not funny, but it's funny.
That's terrible.
I love it.
Hi, Thomas, you sicko.
Casey Anthony.
Hi.
That's my guy.
Thanks for calling, man. Gail is in Pinellas Park. Hello, Gail. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi to everybody.
Hey.
Good morning. Okay, the number one plate, Florida Man.
Yeah, so we brought up Florida Man, but what would you depict on a Florida Man plate? What would it be?
I have that vision of the guy in the hurricane with his chest out, his arms wide, and holding the flag.
Yeah.
You see it online a lot.
Yeah, also, MJ, the guy who's huffing the paint with a mug shot of the guy with like the gold goatee.
But is he from Florida?
That was a Florida Man story.
Oh, was it?
He's the Florida Man poster boy on their Twitter. What she's talking about is there's a on YouTube, Fail Army does fails by state, and the Florida fail is the guy in the hurricane holding the American flag.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Gail, thanks for the call. Jeff is in Lakeland. What kind of Florida specialty plate would you like to see?
Hey, let's do a Morons in the News.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Morons capital of the world.
Yeah,
Morons.
morons in the news capital. Yeah. No, I like that. That's good. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff.
It's a little wordy.
All right, brother. You take care.
That opens
say-
up. That opens up a line. What specialty plate would you like to see added to the ridiculous amount of plates that already exist? 800, and again, we're looking for funny, crazy, cranky, Florida
Wacky.
weirdo stuff. All right, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Chris is next. Chris, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, you should either do a license plate.
Oh, hold on. You dropped out. Say it again.
You should do a Skunk 8 license plate,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
or you should do a Terry Shiloh one that is in the vein of unplugging from the electric cars.
That's terrible.
You know, I
no,
knew that
that's-
guy. I knew her
that's-
brother.
Yeah, that's
It's not
come
right.
on, come on. She was
Too
it's
soon.
too
dude.
soon.
that's
All right.
Chris. That's
Hang
awful.
up on this awful person.
I'm hanging
Hold
up
on,
on it.
where's-
That's terrible.
Punk.
Okay, I'm laughing on the inside.
Of course you are.
That's terrible.
It's okay. You might get terrible when you ask for this. This is what you get.
I guess I guess you reap what you. All right. So Susan in Lakeland, you're next. Hi, Susan. You're on.
Good morning.
Hi.
I'm thinking Grady Judd.
Oh yeah.
I need a Grady Judd plate.
You know what? I put that on a Grady Judd Polk County. Don't mess around in Polk County plate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. She's in Polk County. She's calling from Lakeland. Sabrina in Lake Wales just drove through Lake Wales on Sunday morning. Sabrina, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. So I would like to see horrible drivers. No, so I know who I could stay away from.
So how would that work?
I don't know, just if they have accidents or hit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So somebody that has a horrific driving record, that they would have to put a certain plate on their car signifying that they're like a DUI driver, that they've had some DUI convictions, or they have a ridiculous number of points on their license, or their license has been suspended previously.
Why wouldn't they give somebody who has like 2 DUIs?
Oh, like a
bright orange license plate.
like a scarlet letter license plate.
Yeah.
But I would say more so hit and run, speeding, careless driving.
Yeah, plowing through bus stops and stuff.
Because I'm not from here, so when I moved down here, this is one thing I hate. I'm from the north. I have more confidence going 100 miles an hour up north than I do down here on the road.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you move from?
From Jersey.
Where in Jersey?
Toms River.
And what brought you to Lake Wales in Polk County?
Well, I originally moved to Orlando, and then when my husband and I got married, we got a house out here.
Yeah, you can get a lot more house out there. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate the call, Sabrina. Thanks for listening. Phones are loaded. TJ in St. Pete, if you're just tuning in, I just talked about the new Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville license plate. It looks like the governor's going to sign it. A whole new slew of specialty plates. I counted like 137 on the wall at the tax collector's office. Fester found a story that says there are like 200 specialty plates in Florida. It's ridiculous how many different plates there are. So we just said, hey, what crazy Florida plates can you come up with that would just make a further mockery out of the number of license plates that are out there? TJ is in St. Pete. TJ, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, I got one that Froggy would like.
What?
SpaceX plate with just a silhouette of the rocket.
Good one.
Yeah, but no, hold on.
No, you're thinking Blue Origin.
Wait a sec.
What is it? Jet the Bezos one?
Yeah, that's you mean the one that looks like a male unit?
Yes.
Oh, I got you.
Why would I like that? Just because it's shaped like a unit?
They can call it the penis plate.
Yeah.
Well,
Space penis.
I got one.
sir.
Thank you, TJ.
I got one.
Yes.
813-310-8444.
Oh, the Fester license plate with his phone number on
Text
it.
me anytime, no problem.
Tammy in Palm Harbor. Tammy, what crazy Florida license plate would you like to see? Tammy?
I've got a good one.
Yep.
I've got a good one. It would be the Sarah Boone luggage license plate.
Okay, tell us why it's a
Traveling
good
with
one.
Sarah Boone luggage.
I don't know. You explain.
Help
I don't
us.
What is it?
She's the Florida gal that zipped her husband up in a suitcase and left him there overnight and found him dead the next morning.
In pieces or intact?
He was intact.
Intact.
Hold on. When was this?
They were playing a game, and she left him in there.
It was 4 years ago. They were playing hide and seek, and she zipped him in the luggage, and she was drunk, and she went upstairs, fell asleep, and woke up at noon the next day, and he was still in the suitcase.
My God, how did I miss this story?
You can see the video
Yeah,
online.
it was 4 years ago.
My
And
God.
currently she's on her seventh lawyer. She's in Florida jail.
Wow, I don't even. That's
What?
crazy.
You haven't
I don't
seen
know
that
the
video?
I don't know the damn story. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
The guy's in the suitcase, and he's like,
I am pretty plugged in. I kind of know what's going on
No,
in the
you
world.
don't.
I did not know that story.
Oh, MJ, it's a good story.
You're
You
not
got to
plugged
look
in.
it up.
You know, we were in New York. Maybe it was when we were getting ready to move back to Florida. I don't know. Hey, thanks for the call, Tammy. Have a beautiful day. Jeff is in Tampa. What ridiculous Florida specialty license plate would you like to see?
For all the people in Sun City, Milton Fledge Cow.
Oh, thank God you've answered a Milton Fledge Cow plate. What's the deal? You've got to get a certain number of signatures of people that want a particular plate in order to make the request, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great day. A couple more. We got to move on. Jerry in Newport Richie. Jerry, what ridiculous Florida specialty plate would you like to see?
Well, I think Florida is like the mullet capital of the world. So I think Mullet Man would be a great license plate. Mullet Man.
Oh, man. And what if you had like actual real hair that dangled from the bottom of the plate?
The tagline can be business in the front, party in the back.
On each side of the plate, it would just have a flowing hair down, you know?
Yeah, mullet hair coming down. Thank you. It'd be like an interactive 3D plate, you know? Thanks, Jerry. All right, two more, Andrew, and that's it. Tell the other callers thank you, but I got to move on. Kelly in St. Pete. What ridiculous Florida specialty plate would you like to see added to the list of 200 already?
So picture this. It's a house falling into a sinkhole.
Oh!
Nice.
Sinkhole plate. Absolutely. What are the weird Florida stories or incidents or happenings or events are we missing? One more, and then, Rox, hold your thought. Yeah. Danny in Spring Hill. Danny, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
I got the perfect plate. It's going to be, with all your listeners, definitely get all the signatures. A Hal Herman, but he has to have the jacket on.
No, there'd be no other way. You're absolutely right, sir.
The Hal Herman specialty plate. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it.
I don't know how we missed this one.
What?
How about a Mons Venus?
Oh.
And just a picture of a...
Or, hold on, Andrew said he got that call. Why didn't you put it on the air?
I put everyone through. If somebody hung up, it's not on me.
All right. Or a 2001 spaceship plate. You know, yeah. Tampa, the strip club capital of the world. Yep. License plate. There you have it. All right, so Froggy, I said I had two stories for you. Number one, and we got on this whole little riff here because of the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville plate, which is close to approval. The second story for you, Froggy, is how would you like to make $70,420?
Okay.
So $70,420. Do you think there's anything significant about that particular number for a salary? $70,420.
I don't know. Is it working at a... What are you whispering at me?
He's like working at a radio station.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Working at a dispensary or something?
Oh,
the 420?
Yeah, yes, it's the whole 420 thing. So there's
$70,000.
Well, hang on. Listen. A marijuana company which specializes in manufacturing pre-rolled joints. They're looking for what they're calling the ultimate stoner dream job, a content creator who will get paid to smoke weed. Custom Cones USA
I'm sure they'll find plenty.
announced that it's hiring for its new direct-to-consumer brand, Day Savers, which produces rolling papers. The full-time social media creator and event marketer job will pay $70,420 with perks, including cannabis product testing and all expense-paid travel to marijuana events all over the country.
Ooh, marijuana conventions? Bet you those are more fun than the hardware ones I have to go to.
Do they have like PotCon?
I'm sure.
Yeah, something like-
GanjaCon?
Yeah, right. Weedapalooza.
BongCon?
I'm sure they do, dude.
How much do they pay?
How about FentanylCon? Do they have that one?
They pay way more than radio pays.
$70,420.
I said $7,400.
No, $70,420.
Good job. Your mom would be proud of you. You land that job.
They say we're.
A pot ambassador.
It says we're thrilled to be launching our Ultimate Stoner Dream Job campaign in the hopes that we'll find a dedicated and one-of-a-kind content creator and social media manager to help us build engaging content on our. So they're looking for a stoner. Is the person going to be like late to work every day and, hey man, I just couldn't get out of bed.
Dude,
I was a little tired.
They have the best social pages, man.
Come on, man.
I mean, look at half of our digital content team are high around here during the day.
Half?
Okay, 3/4. I think I have no problem finding somebody.
Yeah.
Speaking of smoke shops, this could be the craziest story of the day. This will wrap up our hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. This is the most bizarre, weirdest story of the day. This is insane. A Michigan vaping store and company exploded, and a kid, a teenager, was killed a half-mile away by an exploding vape canister that flew through the air and hit him a half-mile away.
That's so sad.
It is. It's insane. It's sad. A teenager was killed by a canister that was sent flying from this massive explosion at a Michigan vaping company. Some reports say a quarter mile away. Some reports say a half mile away.
Just made it a projectile. Just launched it.
Like a missile. The unidentified 19-year-old was fatally struck late Monday by this explosion at Select Distributions in Clinton Township, Michigan. It's outside of Detroit. A truckload of butane caught fire. There was a report that it was actually inside the building and that they had hundreds of thousands of cartridges. And it was in violation that this particular space that they should have never had this amount of combustible material in this space. The fire chief for Clinton Township, Tim Duncan, he's part of the Dun Kings, by the way. He said, in my 25 years, this by far was the biggest fire I've ever seen. Some people reported hearing explosions as far as 15 miles away. Police warned residents that debris was being projected into the air and coming down as far as 1 mile away. And one of these metal butane canisters, do they kind of look like a whippet, like a little nitrous oxide?
Yeah, I'm thinking of something that looks kind of like a missile. Yeah.
That blew up. I mean, because you had hundreds of thousands, apparently, of canisters in this place. And the explosion blew them through the air, and this thing became a projectile a quarter to a half mile away, and it hits a 19-year-old and kills him? What the?
It's Final Destination right there.
My God.
A lot of these butane canisters, MJ, I looked them up online, kind of look like spray paint bottles or spray paint cans.
Well, no, I've seen the butane cans. I've seen the. I see. I thought, was this just a regular can?
I mean, it would serve the same purpose.
This
I was thinking like CO2 containers.
The cops, yeah, the
silver ones.
The CO2s, or I was thinking of like the whippets, the ones that they used to make whipped cream or whatever.
CO2 containers and butane containers are very different.
So law enforcement and public safety, they were saying we cannot stress enough the danger that's happening right now. Please, please, please. 3 pleases in their statement. Stay inside and out of the vicinity. The blasts were continuing for 30 minutes.
Yeah, right? Oh, man, poor guy.
Nobody was in the vaping facility when it blew up, and the teen is the only known fatality. Firefighter suffered minor injuries.
What a way to go. I mean, that's
Constant
terrible.
explosions for like a half an hour. And because of the explosions and the projectiles going everywhere, they couldn't immediately fight the blaze. The firefighters couldn't get close enough because it was so dangerous. This is insane. And then for a 19-year-old teenager to be killed a quarter to a half mile away by a butane canister that launched like a missile and hit him, that is nuts. I mean, talk about, that's like a Powerball deal.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I mean, poor 19-year-old kid. It's awful.
And like sad irony, he probably never vaped.
Terrible story. All right, folks, this comes to an end. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. What'd you find, Fester?
This is your guy. We were talking about the...
who fled the car crash?
Who fled the car crash.
On Dale. All right, hold on to that thought. We'll get to it when we get back.
We might have a reason why he fled.
All right, hang on. The guy that got into a crash, 4-car crash, Dale Mabry and 275 yesterday morning, then fled, ran from the crash, left his dog at the scene who was running through traffic. We have an update on that whole story. We'll get to that and a whole lot more next. Also, New Kids on the Block, Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff tickets. We have those for you coming up in the next hour, 9 o'clock hour, here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Now, if you're looking... His dog, and now you have some more information. You found his arrest activity.
Yeah, they have a pretty bad looking mugshot of the guy.
Brennan Patrick Baltusnik.
Yeah.
30 years old. Son, this is no way to go through life.
No. He's currently a resident at Sheriff Cronister's Falkenberg Road Jail.
He's currently at the FRJ. He's checked into the FRJ, which is the Falkenberg Road Jail.
Yes.
Yep. Bond is set at $6,250. That's $6,250. Yeah, looking at his address, looks like he's a South Tampa guy.
He's a SOG.
He's a South Gandhi guy. All right, so what's the story here? Do you have any other information?
All it says is his charges.
Yep.
And then he's been hit with a bunch of charges, most of which are leaving the scene of an accident with injury, leaving the scene of a crash with injury.
What about abandoning the dog? Oh, also resisting officer without violence because he was running away.
Right. And then here's the reason why I think, this is an investigation. I think he ran because of this third charge.
Yeah, charge number 3, driving with license canceled, suspended, or revoked. Yeah, that's why he fled.
And then the rest of them are just leaving the scene.
Leaving the scene of the crash with property damage. There's a couple of counts. What about the cruelty to animals? He left his dog.
So...
Come on, that's not here. They need to slap him with an animal cruelty charge. He abandoned his dog in the crash. The dog is wandering around Dale Mabry.
At the time of his arrest, they may not have known it was his dog. They might have put that together after this paperwork's been filed. I'm sure more charges might be coming.
Well, I'm asking prosecutors to now nail him with an animal cruelty charge as well for abandoning his dog. This dog driving around with him at 6:24 in the morning. This guy, what do you think the deal was with it? And revoked license or suspended license.
Whatever he's doing on the road, he had no license. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. Causes this accident, and then he's like, oh, crap, let me get out of here. And he runs, ditches the dog.
Let me tell you what disturbs me is, and you know this is happening, when you're driving down the road, you're on a surface road, you're on the interstate, and you're surrounded by vehicles, tons of traffic in the Tampa Bay area. How many people are high on pot? How many are high on fentanyl or they're on methamphetamine?
High on life.
How many? That's not where I'm going with this. Thank you, Roxanne.
Yeah,
not the angle.
Sorry.
All right, submit in writing. All right, so
What a jerk.
You say that to me all the time, and I'm going to start submitting. I'm going to audit your funny, not so funny comments.
I'm joking.
Real.
How many are drunk? Or how many people have a suspended license? How many people have, been arrested for various, you just don't know who's driving next to you. And listen, that's why, Stacy Kemp and the Kemp Law Group, that's why, they got tons of clients because of all the awful, terrible drivers that are crashing into people and hurting them. Tell you what, those that were involved at the scene of this crash, get hold of Stacy Kemp. I don't know if this guy's going to have anything to recover from. Or if he had any, listen, if he had a suspended license, I doubt this guy even had car insurance as well.
I'll sue him for his dog.
Anyway, so Fester just dug up the guy's police report. Do you remember, we've talked about this numerous times, about these destination weddings?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a news story about destination weddings, how millennials are obsessed with these destination weddings.
Yes, true.
And it is costing them friendships because millennials who are getting married are then expecting their friends, maybe going back to college or maybe childhood friends, they're expecting their friends to cough up ridiculous amounts of money to go on some of these extended destination wedding trips. And I remember a while ago, I mentioned that we have good friends of ours and their daughter, who's a millennial, early 30s, that she had like 2 friends that had destination weddings. And it was like ridiculous. One was like an expensive, I think it was like a Costa Rica wedding. The other one was Amalfi Coast in Italy. No, I'm serious.
My friend got married in Italy, and I'm like, I'm not going.
Well,
See
listen,
you later.
But
Idiot.
these destination weddings are breaking the bank. And I saw a brand new story that millennial couples are sparing no expense with lavish and pricey weddings at destinations far from home, leaving strained guests thinking, here comes the bill. There's a New York Post thing I saw, and we've talked about this. And I had a specific conversation with friends of ours about their daughter. And I can't remember how it came up. It's kind of funny. I was having, we've got these, good friends of ours, and, maybe once every couple of months, we'll go grab dim sum on a Sunday morning at China Yuan, which, one of my favorite places in town. China Yuan, Chinese on Armenia, just north of Waters. That's where I passed by with Chloe 2 Sundays ago, and there was that awful car crash at Waters and Himes. And a woman was killed, and I found out some more information. Police think that the driver that was fleeing some other accidents, that he was going in excess of 85 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Blew through the light, hit the woman, and, just tragic results. So we were headed to China Yuan, and our friend told me about the destination thing. It came up like several months ago. And then this past Sunday, Chloe went with me, and our friend brought their daughter. So, and she's 32, and I've known her since she was a little kid. And it came up again at dim sum about, she's got about the destination weddings. And she, brought up the fact that it was going to cost her like $10,000, that she had to buy a specific wardrobe, that it was the hotel costs, the airfare.
Oh, forget that.
Well, that's the point, Froggy, is just how presumptuous and how obnoxious some of these brides are, that they're going to saddle their friends, their relatives, their guests with a wedding that's going to cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of your pocket to attend. And, the friend was telling me that she doesn't want to spend the money. The Italy wedding, the Costa Rica wedding. She's got 2 millennial destination weddings. And, she was like trying to say, how do I tell these friends that I don't want to spend this money? I don't want to go into debt. I don't want to have all kinds of crap on my credit cards where I'm paying monthly interest
For
fees.
years.
Exactly.
You're going to pay me back when you get divorced?
Yeah, speaking of that, MJ, how do you envision Chloe's wedding? Like,
I'm
have you
not.
had that?
I don't even want to think about that.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
gonna
do
be
you picture,
expensive.
yes. Or are you one of those dads that's like, here, kid, here's a check. Go spend it put this in the bank and you'll thank me later.
Let me tell you right now, what we will offer Chloe is probably just that.
Mm-hmm.
Say, listen, do you want a small little family and friends wedding? Do you want a huge wedding? Or would you rather just get a nice big fat check to put in your savings to go toward a house instead of having a massive wedding it's going to cost a fortune?
What do you want to do? Go to Vegas? Little Whitechapel style?
MJ should have like that Indian wedding for that billionaire kid.
Brianna.
For Chloe. And that would all come in like Indian garb. That'd be
Is someone
awesome.
going to give me $1 million Richard Mille watch that I can wear and have Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates ogle over the watch?
Somebody will.
That's that billionaire wedding. That wasn't even the wedding. That was the pre-wedding. That was the pre-wedding party. That was like that. Anyway, millennials are obsessed with these ridiculously expensive destination weddings. It's wrecking friendships because you have friends that are saying, I can't afford this. Hey, calls are coming in. I haven't even solicited for calls. And calls are coming in on this.
Have you ever been invited to a destination wedding?
Yeah, his brothers, right?
No.
It was South Florida.
No, my brother's was just at some botanical gardens or some
nice
place in Miami. Line 2. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Danica?
You said Tanika?
With a D, Danica.
Oh, Danica. Welcome, Danica. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show. What's the story?
One of my best friends is getting married 2/5 of 2/5, and we have to...
Hold on. Say it. 2/5 of 2/5?
Yes.
So
February 5th.
February 5th of 2025.
Correct. In Costa Rica, and it's $3,800 a person.
Jeez.
That's not nothing.
Wow.
I mean, I've heard of destination weddings where the costs are much more, but still, Danica,
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Do you want to spend
That is a lot of money.
Do you want to spend $3,800?
I particularly don't want to.
Let me ask you another question. Are you going to spend $3,800?
I already have.
Oh, really?
So that's
Yeah.
for a plus one. That's close to $8,000.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's what we did. So
Are you bringing somebody?
I am. I'm bringing a plus one, and we just finished paying off because we were told about it last year, like 2 years in advance.
Wow. And who's your plus one? Is it a boyfriend or a husband or what?
My boyfriend.
So he's forking over $3,800 as well.
Jeez, it's a big commitment in of itself that you're with someone and you're committing to be together in 2025 and spend that kind of money together. You guys should get married there too.
We should, since we're going to be there.
So initially, Danica, did you think it was kind of obnoxious and presumptuous that they're having a destination wedding and they're expecting guests to pay and that's outside of even a gift. So if you're spending nearly $4,000 to get to the wedding, are they expecting you to give them a gift as well?
I am very blunt with her, and I told her my presence is my gift. So I'm not getting her anything. But I'm also old-fashioned. I think if you ask somebody to be in your wedding, it's kind of tacky to ask people to pay for like bridesmaids' dresses, and I feel that people shouldn't have to pay to be part of your day.
What did she say when you said that my presence is the gift and that you weren't going to get her a gift because you're already spending $4,000 a piece? What did she say to that?
She just laughed and said, "I feel like that's fine."
So, Danica, what happens if this lovely couple who's planning a wedding 2 years ago for next year, 2/5 of 25, what if they break up? What if
I'm still going to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
2/5 of 05, and I have an all-inclusive resort, and I'm going to go deep-sea fishing. So,
Sounds like you think they might be breaking up
No,
with this contingency plan.
Remember we had
I
a
don't
mutual
think so,
friend,
but
MJ?
I'm just saying, like, I'm going either way.
Cool.
What if he's busted on like kiddie porn charges like 2 weeks before the wedding?
Yeah, right? And you have to go to Costa Rica.
Yeah, no, he would never do that.
What if he's busted in Costa Rica? Oh, my God, a Costa Rican jail? That's awful.
All right, listen, thank you for phoning in. I appreciate you unsolicited calling in and sharing a real-world scenario.
You're welcome.
All right, Danica, have a lovely day.
Remember we had a mutual friend who had a Mexican wedding, and it never happened?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Our friend out west.
That's right, yeah.
And this was a big deal, and it was serious, and it was like a year and a half in the making, and I wasn't invited to it, but I knew about it, and a bunch of people
guess what
committed to it.
I never booked because I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Hey,
Seriously.
Do I know this friend out west too?
You don't. You do not. So Michelle and I, we were invited, and we never booked because I said not going to happen, and it didn't happen.
So our buddy ended up taking one of his children on a trip to Mexico.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
He had to go.
Yeah.
Because he would have lost all the money.
9:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I apologize. I meant to do something much earlier, and I forgot. So better late than never. The 5-second rule. People that think you can drop something on the floor and if it's less than 5 seconds or 5 seconds or less, that you can just pick it up and eat it or whatever.
I ate something off the floor already this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 5 seconds is a long time. What if we didn't talk for 5 seconds?
There's a biologist by the name of Tim Call. Tim Call's from Utah, and he put some videos out on social media, and he did a popcorn test. Dropping popcorn on the floor, 5 seconds, drop, pick it up quickly before 5 seconds. And you ought to look at fresh popcorn under the microscope and then look at the popcorn that sat on the floor for 5 seconds, and it is nasty.
Well, it's going to depend where you drop it.
Well, here's the deal. The findings are foul. So this guy, Tim Call, is on social media. He's a scientist, and he tests everyday items and spaces for bacteria. And he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. And this time he was trying to answer the question, hey, is the 5-second rule real? How does it apply to movie theater floors?
Oh, that's
all right.
the worst spot.
You ever get like the
stickiness?
Who would pick up something off of the movie theater floor? That's, if you're hungry.
To conduct the test, he got a bag of fresh popcorn from the concession stand, went into the theater, and he grabbed some of the popcorn and then apparently tested the popcorn that was in the bag fresh versus popcorn that dropped on the floor. And the popcorn that was on the floor for 5 seconds was just nasty beyond belief. And it was like covered with germs and bacteria.
From 5 seconds?
Yeah, from just being on the floor. Versus the fresh popcorn, which was virtually bacteria-free.
Okay, here's something interesting to think about, too. Think about foods in their categories of porousness. Like popcorn, I feel like is pretty neutral in that regard.
Oh, no.
What if you drop a banana, like a mushy banana on the floor? I mean, that's going to absorb everything.
Again, I think that's a good question, and I think you ought to go get your science degree and maybe do this and test various foods. So, for instance, like a banana with like a slimy surface which would absorb, or you would think just because of its surface area would pick up more, versus maybe having a nice slick skin grape.
How about an M&M?
An M&M versus a gummy bear.
Yes.
It's you would think that the gummy bear surface being more soft and mushy and porous would be more conducive to
transference.
to act like a magnet and pick up the bacteria.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you what, why don't you do this experiment with you? Instead of counting jelly beans out of bags with your daughters, why don't you go grab a microscope?
Yes.
And get a lab coat and do these experiments.
Like a little kitty laboratory or something. That'd be
love
great.
that word.
Exactly.
That's the only way I say it.
A laboratory.
Laboratory.
Yes. You don't use it. You don't use the bathroom. You use the lavatory, don't you?
No, I call it.
What if you're in the laboratory? You got to use the lavatory. And what if you're having trouble going and use a suppository?
Oh, I can help you with that.
You better be sure you're in the right spot doing the right thing.
Hey, is the deal that was cooked with Evans with the Bucks, is that sort of a precursor or indicative of what's going to happen with Baker Mayfield? Because there is a report that the Bucks are finalized. See if there's anything fresh.
Okay.
See if there's anything brand new here. But last night I saw a report that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are finalizing a new deal
Wow.
with Baker Mayfield.
Thank God.
Does this seem like it's so drawn out?
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is pretty standard. If anything, I think maybe the Mike Evans deal was done fairly quickly. So Mike Evans is going to end up with what, like a $52 million 2-year contract. You know what else I saw? That wide receivers all over the league were like ecstatic and cheering because I think that the new deal with Mike Evans for 2 years kind of raises the bar. And if you're a decent wide receiver, I think that your value in your stock just went up.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking. So the general thought here is that they want to keep the combo together because Baker Mayfield, I don't think, was it a fluke? The fact that the Bucs were projected to win 1 or 2 games and thought they were going to be just faltering and fledgling all season long, and you had a nice season. Baker Mayfield really kind of came into his own.
Hey, won a home playoff game, won the division.
Yeah, produced. Went to the playoffs when they were expected to win 1 or 2 games. It's supposed to be a total Bucs suck fest last season, and it turned out decently. And I think they see the value of Evans and Mayfield, and if you believe reports that they're close, could it happen today? Could we hear something very soon that Baker Mayfield's going to be staying with the Bucs? We'll see.
That's pretty awesome if they can keep them together.
Oh,
go Bucs!
I know that Froggy's been kept up at night over this.
Oh, I could finally sleep tonight. Only if we get Baker. That's all I think about.
How'd you like to win New Kids on the Block tickets with Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff? Got your tickets coming up with in just a bit. Also, a couple of celebrity items. I've got a curious question regarding Jamie Foxx. He had his medical issues. He's since reemerged. But I got an interesting question about Jamie Foxx. We'll get to that because it's based on a story that I found. And we'll get to that coming up in just a minute. Just a lot of stuff to cram in the final segment, plus the free concert tickets. All next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. You're listening to Classical 105 at 104.7 FM and the MJ Morning Show. Nothing like a little soothing Boccherini. Yes, for the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Fester, I got a story right up your alley.
Lay it on me, baby.
Your father once said to you, son, want to take you to this place so you can check out humanity at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yes. We went there several times.
Now, how many times did you go? And at what age did this process begin?
Probably.
As a youngin'.
Yeah, like 11 to 13, 14 in those formative years.
And how did your father put it? What did he actually say?
We're going to get a little view of real life. It was during summer. During summertime, my sleeping schedule got all out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would stay up super late. My dad was always a late guy.
You got hungry late, too.
And I get hungry all the time. And so was the old man. And I think one day I'm like sneaking out of my room at 1 a.m. and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking for something to eat. He's like, get in the car. We're going out. And I'm like, where are we going? And he told me where we were going. And I'm like, why are we going there? And he goes, just watch and wait. Tonight,
so
you're going to learn something tonight.
So Lou Graham's father told his son that life is simple. It's either cherry red or midnight blue.
Midnight blue.
Right.
He's right.
And your father said, get in the car. We're going to the Waffle House to see reality.
We're gonna learn something about humanity
at
today.
2 in the morning.
The Waffle House.
The Waffle House. Well, guess what?
Were you fat back then?
I've been fat since go.
Froggy, come on.
I was wondering if that had anything to do with his weight.
I was born at 24 pounds.
No, really, what was your birth weight?
Like 18 pounds.
No, for real.
I want to see a picture of you as like an 8-year-old.
Do you have an infant picture?
My mother actually had to have one of her legs dislocated.
Do you have
crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen a picture of you as a baby.
Do you have a picture of you like at 2 years old?
Somewhere.
Were you fat?
I've been fat since go.
I want to see Fester baby pictures.
Yeah, I want to see everybody's baby
Were
pictures.
you like a little baby Michelin tire man?
Yeah. Yes. I was.
Wow. Your parents were worried about you?
Nah, everybody was Michelin Tyler man back in the Italians up in New York.
All right, so here's the deal. Well, obviously, I've got a Waffle House story.
Waffle House, man, that's the place. We take your kid there like at 1 a.m. and
Good
just
stuff.
sit back and let humanity roll in and out like the tide.
Officers responded to a Waffle House in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, man, that's probably a good one, too.
Arrested a woman after they said that she appeared to be heavily intoxicated and was physically abusing her 2 kids early Sunday morning at a Waffle House in South Nashville, Tennessee.
It's not cool.
According to the arrest affidavit, officers with the Metro Nashville Police Department were dispatched to Waffle House on Old Hickory Boulevard. Just sounds like a place where a Waffle House would be, on Old Hickory Boulevard, about 4 a.m. 5 and 6, the ages of the kids. 5 and 6 out at 4 o'clock in the morning at a Waffle House.
So this is an abusive mother.
Well, hang on a minute.
Terrible.
It gets better. Well, it actually gets worse. They arrive on the scene, and cops say they observed this woman pushing her children and swinging a whip at them.
All right.
Where'd she get a whip?
I don't know. The woman has a freaking whip.
Like an old style cowboy whip? Like Django Unchained had?
I don't know. I guess what song was playing on the speaker overhead at the Waffle House?
Devo.
Whip it good. Yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Whip it good. All right. This is a terrible person.
Yeah, you think they're whirling around with a whip.
I mean, we're playing Whip It by Devo.
Yeah, MJ, you're terrible.
5 and 6, yeah, I'm terrible. 5 and 6 year old kids, 4 o'clock in the morning, Nashville Waffle House. Mother's pushing the kids around and cracking a whip at them, swinging a whip at the kids.
And was it? It was like cracking like an old school whip. That's awesome.
It's an art to be able to work one.
I know.
Yeah.
But this is a terrible mother.
Yeah, she was acting erratically. Apparently, she was drunk. They found a multi-lashed whip, according to the arrest affidavit. She was also reportedly showing signs of being under the influence of cocaine or methamphetamine.
Well, cocaine and whips.
She was constantly fidgeting, acting paranoid, speaking to people who were not there. Oh, this sounds like Mother of the Year material right here.
I'd rather have nunchucks than a whip.
Whoa.
You mean nunchucks?
No, they're nunchucks, aren't they?
Nunchucks.
No, I'm pretty sure it's nunchucks.
No, it's nunchucks.
It's nunchucks.
It's, dude, you're even changing the pronunciation as you go.
No, it's nunchuck. Nunchuck.
You said,
isn't it?
Nunchucks?
It's a nunchuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a nun. It has nothing to do with nuns.
It's N-U-N.
It's a noon because that's what. Yeah, the battles took place at noon.
First you said nin as in N-I-N. Then you're saying noon as in 12 noon.
Is it nunchuck or nunchuck?
It's nunchuck.
No, it's nin or noon.
Nunchucks.
Get it right, numbnuts. It's nunchucks.
Either way, I'd rather have one of those than a whip.
Anyway, Mother of the Year. This is great police body cam footage. This is out in Colorado. A burglar breaks into a place. He's in the bathroom doing his business after he broke in. Cops respond, and caught on body cam, the cops are trying to get him to come out of the bathroom. This is in Lakewood, Colorado, outside of Denver. And they're confronting the suspect who broke and entered into a business. They're trying to get him to come out. And, well, here's the body cam footage.
Michael, please, show me your hands. Hands up. Hands up. Stand up.
Did you hear that? We had a bleeper there. He goes, I'm on the bleeper.
Damn,
He's on the S word. He's on the bleeper.
He's on the commode.
Oh,
was
man.
he actually going?
Yes, his pants were down.
Poor
He's
guy.
on the turlet.
Michael, please, show me your hands.
Hey, what's that sound?
Hands up. Hands up. Stand up. Stand up. Walk this way. What's that? Walk towards me. Keep your hands up. Stop there. Stop there. Stop right there.
The worst alarm I've ever heard.
So what's the police handbook say on that? You let the guy finish?
Or do you I mean, show us your hands, but if you show the hands, he's not going to be able to use the Charmin back there.
Does the officer let himself clean?
Take your time, buddy.
Do you get to wipe? I'm just trying to figure this out.
You'll wipe at jail. Let's go.
Just a lovely array. All right, now I got a Jamie Foxx question.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx had the medical episode. Did we ever really find out what happened? There were reports that he had a stroke, and I don't think there was any formal confirmation of exactly why Jamie Foxx was out of circulation for months with some kind of crazy, unknown mystery medical ailment. But this is another mystery that I have. Jamie Foxx apparently is returning to the Beat Shazam game show. Does that run on Fox?
I've never watched it.
That must be like a summertime deal, isn't it?
So it's a Shazam-based game show. Now, we all know what Shazam is. Shazam's the app. You just hit the Shazam button. You let your phone hear something from a speaker if you're trying to identify a song, watching TV, a movie, a commercial. You're out and about in a bar, a restaurant. What song is this? You hit Shazam, boom. And there's this game show where I've never seen the actual show, but I've seen promos, and I know essentially what it is. And the contestants, a song is playing, and I guess you have to identify the song faster than Shazam can identify. Is that how it works?
Wow, that sounds like an awesome game.
That sounds really impossible.
Wow.
What a concept.
Now, but here's the question. Is it like Andrew says it's like a modern day Name That Tune? Is that it?
Okay.
Well, here's the deal.
Sounds awful.
But I think Name That Tune actually came back as well.
Beat Shazam doesn't sound like it's from the 1950s.
And the whole
though.
reason you use Shazam is because you don't know the name of the song.
Here's my question. Jamie Foxx is an accomplished Academy Award-winning actor. What the hell is he doing hosting a third-tier game show on Fox?
And then we have to ask, is it really Jamie Foxx or is it a robot Jamie Foxx?
That's usually a John Cena type job.
Yeah.
Why? Why is he hosting some cut-rate, low-quality game show?
Do you see him in any movies anymore? He's not exactly playing Ray Charles.
Tell you what, that funeral movie, that was fantastic.
What?
Yeah, it's Michelle and I watched it. What was the name of that thing?
Bernie?
No, not Bernie's. That was with Jack Black.
The Jamie Foxx funeral music movie?
I don't know what that is.
No, seriously, type in. He was a preacher. It was a Jamie Foxx funeral movie, The Burial, and Tommy Lee. That's a great movie.
Interesting.
It was really fantastic, and it was about like a legal case and a funeral. I mean, really good. I highly recommend it. Jamie Foxx is a great actor. He won. Did he win an Academy Award playing Ray Charles?
Yes. Yeah. So
right?
he's certainly an accomplished
So what
actor.
the hell is he hosting a silly game show for?
You know what, MJ? Sometimes people do things just out of fun. This is a Mark Burnett production. It's been in production for 6 seasons.
Really?
Maybe he's friends with Mark and he's doing Mark a favor.
They bring back the Gong
He's
Show.
getting paid. He's having fun. He probably only works. Honestly, these game shows, MJ, they only work like a couple of days a month.
Yeah, I know. Like for instance, with Wheel of Fortune or Price is Right, like Pat Sajak and Vanna, they roll in.
It's 1 week a month,
and they
do 5 shows a day.
Yeah, and boom.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, they'll work 1 week and then they got the rest of the damn month off.
And they make like $20 million a year.
Well,
Pat
Seacrest.
Sajak making a fortune.
Yeah.
I have no desire to see Ryan Seacrest on Wheel of Fortune. Speaking of game shows, one of the producers of American Idol that you've seen the name over the years, Nigel Lithgow.
Yep.
That's
he used
the
to
one
be a
that-
judge on the dance show, right?
Isn't that the one Paula Abdul had problems with?
Well, Paula Abdul claimed that he sexually assaulted her.
Get over here, Paula.
Exactly. Now, listen to this. Nigel Lithgow has now been hit with a 4th sexual assault lawsuit.
Nigel.
Another claim from 2018 comes after the producer tried to refute the Paula Abdul accusations. So now you got a whole new story here. The So You Think You Can Dance co-creator, former judge Nigel Lithgow, accused of sexual assault for the 4th time in less than 3 months. Lithgow's sexual assault and battery were so traumatizing the plaintiff no longer feels like the confident, capable, and independent woman that she was before the incident, says Jane Doe of the alleged 2018 incident in a filing in L.A. Superior Court this week. Similar to an alleged attack in 2015, Paula Abdul detailed her own suit late last year in early January, a sexual assault, battery, sexual harassment, negligence civil suit by Jane Doe KG and Jane Doe KN, latest claim. So now we got the latest. Those are the two. Paula Abdul makes 4 for this Nigel Lithgow guy.
Nigel.
Yeah.
Nigel.
Keep your tallywanker in the pants.
Vince McMahon, who Froggy, I guess, Froggy was a big fan.
Well, you can't really be a fan of that guy anymore.
Of course, he's been embroiled in all kinds of sexual controversy. Vince McMahon apparently has cashed in $400 million worth of WWE stock.
It's probably a good move.
Yeah, after all of these sex trafficking allegations, thought you'd be interested in that.
Yes.
And then, folks, we mentioned this earlier today, and just a little more depth, a little more detail. Roxanne freaked out. She group texted all of us yesterday, close to 11 a.m. Roxanne was in utter panic because Instagram wasn't working. Yeah. And I didn't even realize this. I had not been on Instagram at all yesterday up until you sent the text. And I think I saw your text close to 12 noon or a little after 11. And I then went to my Instagram and I was getting the couldn't refresh feed thing. And I
was sending DMs and I was getting failed to send. And I thought what every logical person would think, that my IG had been hacked by aliens. That's just happening to me.
That's what Roxanne texted us, that, hey, what's going on with Instagram? But I mean, you were out of sorts, man. The fact that you couldn't go to your IG.
You know, I feel like IG is a good place to communicate with people because you, like, when you send a text, you kind of, sometimes that means you want to engage in a conversation. But then when you send a DM, you can send a DM at 5 o'clock in the morning to someone who you know is sleeping, and they can reply back to you at 11 and they know you're sleeping. Like, I just like the non-urgent side of it.
Some conspiracy theorists were trying to suggest that Instagram and Facebook were down yesterday and it had something to do with the election and Super Tuesday and Taylor Swift.
It sounds like it makes a little bit of sense to me.
Apparently Taylor Swift, and I'm just paraphrasing here, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but apparently Taylor Swift said something to the effect of, on Super Tuesday, with all the states having primaries, it was like 14 states yesterday, Taylor Swift said something to the effect to her social media followers, make sure you vote for the person that best represents you. And some were suggesting that Taylor Swift, and there was some kind of conspiracy, and that's why Facebook and Instagram were down. So it was YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, part of Meta. And there were worldwide outages yesterday. And they're saying over at Facebook that it was caused by a technical issue. Duh. What other issue? What other issue could cause?
Well, it's very technical in its technical sense.
Yeah, failure to load, error pages. Yeah, I guess millions of people were affected. Yeah, a representative for Meta said, earlier today, a technical issue caused people to have difficulty accessing some of our services. We resolved the issue as quickly as possible for everyone who was impacted, and we apologize for the inconvenience. You know what they did? They just hit Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah. Came right back up. That's it. Yeah, that fixes 95%. Unplug it and plug it back in, man. That fixes 98.2% of all problems out there.
So what did Taylor Swift say about politics and voting for somebody?
Taylor Swift said something to the effect that just vote for whoever represents you best.
Oh. I thought she said resembles you the best. That's why I voted for Chris Christie.
Taff.
Both fat.
Well, there you have it.
That was a stretch for a joke.
Had a way to end the show on the really bad joke.
Really bad joke. Very bad.
And, more information. We'll leave you with this, then we'll give away the concert tickets. But more stories are coming out, and there's more coverage. And we've been following this for a while, how Miami is breaking up with spring break. And Miami has this whole campaign from the mayor down.
Yeah, this is a big story.
It is. We've talked about this a handful of times already, that Miami is telling spring breakers, we don't want you. Miami is saying, listen to this. Miami is saying, it's not us, it's you. Seriously, that's an official statement that's come from the mayor's office. They don't want spring breakers. They're like closing parking garages. They're making it as difficult as possible. You had like deaths and shootings last year. Miami is done with the ruckus behavior. They don't want the spring break problems. And they're telling folks, we don't want you. Don't come here. We're not going to be friendly. We're going to make things kind of difficult for you. And then DeSantis, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, apparently, is going to send Florida troopers, Florida Highway Patrol. He's going to send troopers from other parts of the state down to Miami to assist with the spring breakers that don't get the message and might want to try to start a problem or instigate some trouble. So listen to what Ron DeSantis said. Listen to this.
What we don't welcome is mayhem.
My God, does that mean that the Allstate guy is not invited?
They'd be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Yeah, going to Miami for spring break.
What we don't welcome is mayhem.
They'd be better protected from mayhem, like me.
So
mayhem can't go to Miami?
I love it when the word mayhem is used. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
They're all going to come here.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Headed here.
They coming to St. Pete Clearwater?
Yep.
Come on down.
Oh, boy. All right, well.
Happy birthday, Shaq.
Oh, Shaq.
And my wife.
And your wife.
And my wife.
As soon as you said that,
but most importantly, it's Shaq.
Hold it. You're just mentioning your wife's birthday in the last 8 seconds of the show?
Well, I meant to say it earlier, but...
And you said Shaq's first?
Well, Shaq I'm really excited about, and it's my wife's birthday, too.
Happy birthday, Allison.
Let's give away, absolutely. Happy birthday, Allison.
And Shaq.
And concert tickets. Let's go. How would you like to see New Kids on the Block? Paula Abdul, who's suing Nigel Lithgow, and DJ Jazzy Jeff. We've got concert tickets right now for this concert. It'll be at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater on Friday, July 19th. NKOTB. Let's go with caller number 21 right now, 800-990-1047. If you call it 21, you win the free tickets right now from the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and let's be careful out there.